While they on me, I'm out and fly to low key. Super low key, hold on. Yo, I swear I did the dual streaming. Whatever. Whatever. It's freaking stupid. Welcome, welcome. Want to come one, come all. To the final, hopefully, Heroes of Olympus stream. Not Heroes of Olympus. The Lost Hero. We are a bit done. A bit far from being done with Heroes of Olympus in totality. But hopefully we get done with The Lost Hero today. I'm not going to spend too much time on the preamble, but I do have some stuff to talk about because I did read some chapters off stream. Some crazy chapters. I'm surprised I was told to read those ones off stream because some crazy stuff happened. We had a talk with Aphrodite about a really cool talk about love and all that, and like what it means, and oh dude, this notif makes my night. Let's go, buddy. What's this? They changed the icon for moderator? That's cool. But yeah, we got freaking okay, music's going, cool. What happened? Aeolus. I met Aeolus, which was very funny. Jason had met him before a year prior on a different quest that he didn't remember. Gaia was revealed to be the one bringing the giants back, doing evil stuff. She told Kronos to kill Uranus, and now she's freaking doing evil stuff again. She's trying to wake up again. The gods are sneaking behind Zeus's back because he's doing them tomfoolery. Even Hera's sneaking behind Zeus's back because he's too petty being mad at Percy Jackson. We need the demigods' help this time. Freaking, what else freaking happened? Aphrodite, as mentioned, the conversation with Aphrodite about love and what that means, which is one of my favorite chapters. Made Aphrodite seem super freaking cool. And I love more Child of Aphrodite stuff because since beginning of the series, I've been wanting to see Child of Aphrodite. So every single time Piper gets cooler and deeper character stuff, I am very excited about that. And then and then they pulled up. They got thrown to the Mount Doom, whatever the mountain's called they need to be on, and yeah, freaking yeah, that happened. And yeah, so they're about to, go freaking toe to toe. I think the whole plan to read this off stream from like last year was because it was right before the action happens. Probably, but that's probably what it is. But like that was some crazy lore stuff. Some crazy lore stuff, especially the conversation with Aphrodite, which I loved so much. I'm not gonna lie, when I didn't see the stream notification yesterday, I was nervous, but I didn't lose faith. Anthony, my boy. I never stream on Thursdays. It's Fridays or Saturday. Today's Friday. I told you we were doing it. How dare you? Have I ever lied to you before? Don't answer that. Have I ever let you down before? Also don't answer that. But hopefully, let's try. I want to get this done before 9:30. I don't know if it's going to happen because we got about this much book to cover. If not, honestly, I might just move my movie to a different day because I do want to finish this. But I have a schedule. There's a new Kevin James movie came out today, Solo Mio, and I really want to see it. I meant the notification saying the stream was going to happen. Oh yeah, you're right. Because the only reason I didn't do that is because I had plans today, and I didn't know how long they were going to take. So I didn't want to say I was going to stream today, but it was going to be Saturday, so I didn't know if it was going to be Friday or Saturday. So I didn't know. I didn't know which day it was going to be, so I didn't set it up. But I knew it was going to happen either one of those days. My plans ended a lot earlier, so now we get to read and hopefully we get to finish it. Yeah, we here. Yes, we is, and we'll see. It's like 100 pages. Let's see if we can get through it. If not, if it's going good, this won't be the last one because I do want to see Solo Mio today. But if it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. And the showtime is. When is the showtime? When is it, Mr. Incredible? AMC, load the app, bro. 9:50. Never mind. I got hell time. I'm probably gonna be able to finish it today. That's 2.5 hours at least I got. No, the plus, because I can leave it like 10, maybe. So, not. Last time I got sad when I didn't see it, but yeah, I had to keep you guessing, you know. But, all right. So we are here. We're about to start Leo, and we're about to get into it seems to be the final battle, or just the final big chunk. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. We've been talking for about 6 minutes, and like I said, I wanted to get through this. So let's start. I want to try to not try to get on too many tangents, but I might. We'll see. But I do want to finish this before my movie. If not, then I might move it. So we'll see. Let's go. Got like 3 hours. So let's see what happens. Anyways, Leo, chapter XLI. I'm assuming that's like 41. Leo hoped the taxi could take them all the way to the top. No such luck. The cab made lurching, grinding sounds as it climbed the mountain road, and halfway up they found the ranger station closed, a chain blocking the way. Far as I can go, the cabbie said. You sure about this? Gonna be a long walk back. And my car's acting funny. I can't wait for you. We're sure. Leo was the first one out. He had a bad feeling about what was wrong with the cab, and when he looked down, he saw he was right. The wheels were sinking into the road like it was made of quicksand. Not fast, just enough to make the driver think he had a transmission problem or a bad axle, but Leo knew different. The road was hard-packed dirt, no reason at all it should have been soft, but already Leo's shoes were starting to sink. Gaia was messing with them. Ooh. Nothing wrong with getting a little sidetracked. Now, you finally are starting to understand, bro. Perhaps continuously. You're beginning to believe. But yes. All his friends got out. Leo paid the cabbie. He was generous. Heck, why not? It was Aphrodite's money. Plus, he had a feeling he might never be coming off this mountain. Keep the change, he said, and get out of here, quick. The driver didn't argue. Soon all they could see was his dust trail. The view from the mountain was pretty amazing. The whole inland valley around Mount Diablo was a patchwork of towns, grids of tree-lined streets, and nice middle-class suburbs, shops, and schools. All these normal people, living normal lives, the kind Leo had never known. That's Concord, Jason said. Point to the north, Walnut Creek below us, to the south, Danville past those hills, and that way, he pointed west, where a ridge of golden hills held back a layer of fog, like the rim of a bowl. That's the Berkeley Hills, the East Bay past that, San Francisco. Jason? Piper touched his arm. You remember something? You've been here? Yes. No. He gave her an anguished look. It just seems important. That's Titan land, the coach edge nodded. Toward the west, bad place, Jason. Trust me. This is as close to Frisco as we want to get. Jason looked toward the foggy basin with such longing that Leo felt uneasy. Why did Jason seem so connected with that place? A place, Hedge said, was evil, full of bad magic and old enemies. What if Jason came from here? Everybody kept hinting Jason was an enemy, that his arrival at Camp Half-Blood was a dangerous mistake. And even Aphrodite was like, oh, it's been too long. Hold on. I'm so stupid. There we go. I'm reading now, guys. Aphrodite was like, it's been too long since Zeus just kept the two worlds apart, you know, so. No, Leo thought, ridiculous. Jason was their friend. Leo tried to move his foot, but his heels were now completely embedded in the dirt. Hey guys, he said, let's keep moving. The other guys noticed the problem. Gaia's stronger here, Hedge grumbled. He popped his hooves free and from his shoes, then handed the shoes to Leo. Keep those for me, Valdez. They're nice. Leo snorted. Yes, sir, coach. Would you like them polished? That's varsity thinking, Valdez. Hedge nodded approvingly. But first, we better hike up this mountain while we still can. What the fuck? How do we know where the giant is? Piper asked. Jason pointed toward the peak. Drifting across the summit was a plume of smoke. From a distance, Leo had thought it was a cloud, but it wasn't. Something was burning. Smoke equals fire, Jason said. We better hurry. The wilderness school had taken Leo on several forced marches. He thought he was in good shape, but climbing a mountain when the earth was trying to swallow his feet was like jogging on a flypaper treadmill. In no time, Leo had rolled up the sleeves on his collarless shirt, even though the wind was cold and sharp. He wished Aphrodite had given him walking shorts and some more comfortable shoes, but he was grateful for the Ray-Bans that kept the sun out of his eyes. He slipped his hands into his tool belt and started summoning supplies, gears, a tiny wrench, and strips of bronze. Oh yeah, Aphrodite gave them all new fits. Let's go. I'm reading this book right now. Well, dubs. Oh, dare Reddits. I think I've seen you before. Join the stream. Read along with us. We're about to finish, maybe. We're in the final stretch. So we'll see. Imagine being 16 and finding out you are a demigod and you have to go on your first quest and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, your opponent is the whole earth. Good luck. I'd be so gassed, but so scared. I'd be like, yes, this is awesome. And then I'd be terrified. But I think it was really cool. And to go to analytics. There we go. Where was I? The fuck? Where the fuck was I? Oh, here we go. By the time they neared the crest of the mountain, Leo was fashionably dressed, sweaty, dirty hero. Was the most fashionably dressed, sweaty, dirty hero ever. His hands were covered in machine grease. The little object he made was like a wind-up toy, the kind that rattles and walks across a coffee table. He wasn't sure what it could do, but he slipped it into his tool belt. He missed his army coat with all its pockets. Even more than that, he missed Festus. He could use a fire-breathing bronze dragon right now. Leo, you're a fire-breathing bronze dragon, bro. Lock in. But Leo knew Festus would not be coming back, at least. Not in his old form. He patted the picture in his pocket. The crayon drawing he made at the picnic table under the pecan tree when he was 5 years old. He remembered Tia Kalida singing as he worked and now upset. He'd been when the winds had snatched the picture away. It isn't time yet, little hero, Tia Kalida had told him. Someday, yes, you'll have your quest. You will find your destiny, and your hard journey will finally make sense. Now Aeolus had returned the picture. Leo knew that meant his destiny was getting close, but the journey was frustrating. It was as frustrating as this stupid conversation. Every time Leo thought they'd reached the summit, it turned out to be just another ridge with an even higher one behind it. First things first, Leo told himself. Survive today, figure out crayon drawing of destiny later. Finally, Jason crouched behind a wall of rock. He gestured for the others to do the same. Leo crawled up next to him. Piper had to pull Coach Hedge down. I don't want to get my outfit dirty, Hedge complained. Shh, Piper said, reluctantly the satyr knelt. Just over the ridge, where they were hiding, in the shadow of the mountain's final crest, was a forested depression about the size of a football field, where the giant Enceladus had set up camp. Trees had been cut down to make a towering purple bonfire. The outer rim of the clearing was littered with extra logs and construction equipment. An earth mover, a big crane thing with rotating blades at the end, like an electric shaver, must be a tree harvester. Leo thought, in a long metal column with an axe blade, like a sideways guillotine, a hydraulic axe. Why a giant needed construction equipment, Leo wasn't sure. He didn't know how the creature in front of him could even fit in the driver's seat. The giant Enceladus was so large, so horrible, Leo didn't want to look at him, but he forced himself to focus on the monster. To start with, he was 30 feet tall, easily as tall as the treetops. Leo was sure the giant could have seen them from behind their ridge, but he seemed intent on the weird purple bonfire, circling it and chanting under his breath from the waist. In the waist up. The giant appeared humanoid, his muscular chest clad in bronze armor, decorated with flame designs. Even Kratos would struggle fighting the earth, at least for a little, while until the circle appears. If that's a God of War joke, I don't get it. I have not played that game yet. I want to. It's on my Steam family, but I haven't played it yet. I might play it at some points. I mean, it just depends. But they're making a live action movie, which is also cool. I'm excited for that. His arms were completely ripped. Each of his biceps was bigger than Leo. Damn. His skin was bronze, but sooty with ash. His face was crudely shaped, like a half-finished clay figure, but his eyes glowed white, and his hair was matted in shaggy dreadlocks down to his shoulders, braided with bones. From the waist down, he was even more terrifying, but his legs were scaly green, with claws instead of feet, like the forelegs of a dragon in his hand. And Calidus had a spear about the size of a flagpole. Every so often, he dipped its tip in the fire, turning the metal molten red. Okay, Coach Hedge whispered. Here's the plan. Leo bellowed him. You're not charging him alone. Oh, come on. Viper choked back a sob. Look. Just visible on the other side of the bonfire was a man tied to a post. His head slumped like he was unconscious, so Leo couldn't make out his face. The Piper didn't seem to have any doubts. Dad, she said. Leo swallowed. He wished this were a Tristan McLean movie. Then Piper's dad would be faking unconscious. He'd untie his boots and knock out the giant with some cleverly hidden anti-giant gas. He did a backflip, snapped the bad guy's neck, and saved the day. I don't know if you guys know that Ryan George sketch. Again, first guy to ever tell a story. It's funny. Heroic music would start playing, and Tristan McLean would make his amazing escape, running away in slow motion while the mountainside exploded behind him. That sounds freaking sick, but this wasn't a movie. Tristan McLean was half dead and about to be eaten. The only people who could stop him, 3 fashionably dressed teenage demigods, and a megalomaniac goat. There's 4 of us, Hedge whispered, and only one of him. Did you miss the fact that he's 30 feet tall? Jeez, man. The Titans weren't even that big, right? That's insane. I always imagined the Titans being bigger, but they really weren't that big. Leo asked, okay, Hedge said. So you, me, Jason distract him. Piper sneaks around and frees her dad. Leo looked at Jason. What? Jason asked, I'm not the leader. Yes, Piper said, you are. But what do you mean you're not? You're the son of Zeus, bro. They never really talked about it, but no one disagreed. Not even Hedge. Coming this far had been a team effort, but when it came to life and death decision, Leo knew Jason was the one to ask. Even if he had no memory, Jason had a kind of balance to him. You could just tell he'd been in battles before, and he knew how to keep his cool. Leo wasn't exactly the trusting type, but he trusted Jason with his life. I hate to say it, Jason sighed, but Coach Hedge is right. A distraction is Piper's best chance. Not a good chance, Leo thought. Not even a survivable chance. Just their best chance. I couldn't sit there all day and talk about it, though. It had to be close to noon. The giants had line, and the ground was still trying to pull them down. Leo's knees had already sunk 2 inches into the dirt. Dang! Leo looked at the construction equipment and got a crazy idea. He thought out the little toy he'd made on the climb, and he realized what it could do, if he was lucky, which he almost never was. That's Boogie, he said, before I come to my senses. Let's freaking go. Okay, short chapter. We're not going to talk about this one. I want to get right into the next one. But it's really just them planning. Not much to really discuss. I just want to get right into the next one, because I want to see them free the dad. Anyways, but yeah, I will discuss more later. But when the chapter actually has some meat, because I really want to finish this book. I really want to get to see Neptune. Son of Neptune. Yeah, that's what it is. All you need to know is when the circle appears, it's raps for whoever pissed Kratos off. Okay, all right, I'll keep that in mind. God, why do I feel like that made me feel so old reading that. That made me feel like the old man who doesn't get the reference. I usually get almost every single reference, but that made me feel like fucking Drax. Anyways, Leo XLII. I'm assuming that's 42. The plan went wrong almost immediately. Piper scrambled along the ridge, trying to keep her head down, while Leo, Jason, and Coach Hedge walked straight into the clearing. Jason summoned his golden lance. God, I love the spear, dude. The spear is so cool. I love that he can flip the coin. That's so sick. He brandished over his head and yelled, "Giant!" which sounded pretty good. A lot more confident than Leo could have managed. He was thinking more along the lines of, "We are pathetic ants, don't kill us!" And Gladys stopped chanting at the flames. He turned toward them and grinned, revealing fangs like a saber-toothed tiger's. "Well," the giants rumbled, "what a nice surprise." Leo didn't like the sound of that. His hand caused his wind-up gadget. He stepped sideways, edging his way toward the bulldozer. Please tell me it explodes. I would really love it if it exploded. Coach Hedge shouted, "Let the movie star go, you big ugly cupcake, or I'm gonna plant my hoof right up your..." "Coach," Jason said, "shut up!" Enceladus roared with laughter. I've forgotten how funny satyrs are. When we rule the world, I think I'll keep your kind around. You can entertain me while I eat all the other mortals. Is that a compliment? Hedge frowned at Leo. I don't think that was a compliment. Enceladus opened his mouth wide, and his teeth began to glow. Scatter! I'm sorry, that was not Enceladus. Scatter! Yelled Leo. Jason and Hedge dove to the left as a giant blue fire and furnace blast so hot even Festus would have been jealous. Leo dodged behind the... Aren't you fireproof, Leo? Leo dodged behind the bulldozer, wound up his homemade device, and dropped it into the driver's seat. Then he ran to the right, heading for the tree harvester. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Jason rise and charge the giant. Coach Hedge ripped off his canary yellow jacket, which was now on fire, and bleated angrily. I like that outfit! Then he raised his club and charged too. Before they could get very far, Enceladus slammed this. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong, but it's whatever. Slammed his spear against the ground. The entire mountain shook. The shockwave sent Leo sprawling. He blinked momentarily, stunned through a haze of grass fire and bitter smoke. He saw Jason staggering to his feet. On the other side of the clearing, Coach Hedge was knocked out cold. He'd fallen forward and hit his head on a log. His furry hindquarters were sticking straight up, with his canary yellow pants around his knees. A view Leo really didn't need. The giant bellowed, I see you, Piper McLean. He turned and blew fire at a line of bushes to Leo's right. Piper ran to the clearing like a flushed quail, the underbrush burning behind her. Enceladus laughed, I'm happy you've arrived, and you brought me my prizes. Leo's gut twisted. This was the moment Piper had warned them about. It played right into Enceladus' hands. The giant must have read Leo's expression, because he laughed even louder. That's right, son of Hephaestus! I didn't expect you all to stay alive this long, but it doesn't matter. By bringing you here, Piper McLean has sealed the deal. If she betrays you, I'm as good as my word. She could dig her father and go. What do I care about a movie star? Leo could see Piper's dad more clearly now. He wore a ragged dress shirt and torn slacks. His bare feet were caked with mud. Freaking Prince Eric over here. He wasn't completely unconscious because he lifted his head and groaned. Yep, Tristan McLean, all right. Leo had seen that face in enough movies, but he had a nasty cut down the side of his face, and he looked thin and sickly, not heroic at all. Dad! Piper yelled. Mr. McLean blinked, trying to focus. Pipes? Where? Piper drew her dagger and faced Enceladus. Let him go! Of course, dear. The giant rumbled. Swear your loyalty to me, and we have no problem. Only these others must die. Okay, well, if all I have to do is swear my loyalty, then I'll swear it, and then I'll fucking tie my dad, and we'll fucking dip, bro. Speaking of the son of Neptune, just last week, I tried to start mapping it out, and it was entirely unsuccessful. Like, maybe 2 chapters out of the first third of the book. Were you trying to do it so I would know which chapters to read on stream, which to not? I don't know what we'll actually do, but we might be reading 90% on stream. Dude, I imagined as much. Like it's so much easier for just me to read the whole thing on stream than to not at this point, just because I'm so busy. I would be here if he decided to just read it all. I might, dude. I was thinking about that. Just because finding time to read on my own is like, unless I'm dedicating it to a stream, it's less easy to find time to read by myself. Unless I always feel like I should be doing something else, like writing or something, which I spend a lot of time writing now. But we might read some Neptune entirely on stream. Hey, look, shit, getting hooked into what section I was reading? Shit, dude. Don't gas me up like that. I was freaking just... Alright, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. Piper looked back and forth between Leo and her dad. He'll kill you, Leo warned. Don't trust him. Don't come now, Enceladus bellowed. You know I was born to fight Athena herself. Mother Gaia made each of us giants with a specific purpose, designed to fight and destroy a particular god. Ooh, that's cool. I wish there were 12, or at least 10, you know, demigods, because like the ones with, or 11, you could do 11, maybe even, honestly, it could be 12, Hera, because she's a champion. I wish there were like 12 demigods, you know, not just 7, but 12, each from each one, you know, and then it'd be like a thing where, kinda, like, each demigod versus a titan. That'd be cool. I was Athena's nemesis, the anti-Athena, you might say. Compared to some of my brethren, I am small. I'm sorry, what? Okay, but I'm clever, and I keep my bargain with you. Piper McLean, it's part of my plan. Jason was on his feet now, lance ready. Before he could act, Enceladus roared. A call so loud it echoed down the valley and was probably heard all the way to San Francisco. At the edge of the woods, half a dozen ogre-like creatures rose up. Leo realized with nauseating certainty that they hadn't simply been hiding there. They had risen straight out of the earth. The ogres shuffled forward. They freaking called forward. Freaking the first wave, bro. Got the boss's health 1/3 down. He called down the first wave. The ogres shuffled forward. They were small compared to Enceladus, about 7 feet tall. Each one of them had 6 arms. Jesus fucking Christ. 6 arms. 1 pair in a regular spot. And an extra pair spreading out the top of their shoulders. And another set shooting from the side of their rib cages. Okay, so they're fucking, like 4 arms, kind of, but 6 arms. They wore only ragged leather loincloths, and even across the clearing, Leo could smell them. 6 guys who never bathed, with 6 armpits each. Leo decided if he survived this day, he'd have to take a 3-hour shower just to forget the stench. Leo stepped toward Piper. What are those? Her blade reflected the purple light of the bonfire. Genginus. What the fuck? In English, Leo asked. The Earthborn, she said. 6 armed giants who fought Jason, the first Jason. Very good, my dear. Enceladus sounded delighted. They used to live on a miserable place in Greece called Bear Mountain. Mount Diablo is much nicer. They are lesser children of Mother Earth, but they serve their purpose. They're good with construction equipment. Vroom vroom. One of the Earthborn bellowed, and the others took up the chant, each moving his 6 hands as though driving a car, as if it were some kind of weird religious ritual. Vroom vroom. Yes, thank you, boys, Enceladus said. They also have a score to settle with heroes, especially anyone named Jason. Yay, son, the Earthborn screamed. They all picked up clumps of earth, which solidified in their hands, turning to nasty pointed stones. Can my nose stop itching? Where, yay, son? Kill, yay, son. Damn, they are stupid. Enceladus smiled. You see, Piper, you have no choice. Save your father, or try to save your friends and face certain death. Piper stepped forward, her eyes blazed with such rage. Even the Earthborn backed away. She radiated power and beauty, but it had nothing to do with her clothes or her makeup. You will not take the people I love, she said. None of them. Let's go, Piper. My nose, stop itching. Her words rippled across the clearing with such force, the Earthborn muttered, okay, sorry, and began to retreat. What? Conqueror's hockey? Stand your ground, fools! Enceladus, but dang, freaking crazy charm speak. Enceladus bellowed. He snarled at Piper. This is why we want to do a lie, my dear. You could have been so useful to us, but as you wish, Earthborn, I will show you Jason. Leo's heart sank, but the giant didn't point to Jason. He pointed to the other side of the bonfire, where Tristan McLean hung helpless and having hundreds. There is Jason, Enceladus said with pleasure. Tear him apart. Leo's biggest surprise. One look from Jason, and all 3 of them knew the game plan. When had that happened, that they could read each other so well. Jason charged Enceladus while Piper rushed to her father, and Leo dashed for the tree harvester, which stood between Mr. McLean and the Earthborn. I love, what's his name? Hedge, but I wish he was Grover instead. I just wish he was. I know Grover isn't really in this series, which is so sad. The dash for the tree harvester, which stood between Mr. McLean and the Earthborn. The Earthborn were fast, but Leo ran like a storm spirit. He leaped toward the harvester from 5 feet away and slammed into the driver's seat. His hands flew across the controls, and the machine responded with unnatural speed, coming to life, as if it knew how important this was. Ha! Leo screamed and swung the crane arm through the bonfire, toppling burning logs onto the Earthborn and spraying sparks everywhere. 2 giants went down under a fiery avalanche and melted back into the earth, hopefully to stay for a while. The other 4 ogres stumbled across burning logs and hot coals. While Leo brought the harvester around, he smashed a button, and on the end of the crane arm, the wicked rotating blades began to whir. Out of the corner of his eye, he could see Piper at the stake, cutting her father free. On the other side of the clearing, Jason fought the giant, somehow managing to dodge his massive spear and blasts of fire breath. Coach Hedge was still heroically passed out, with his goat tail sticking up in the fire. The whole side of the mountain would soon be ablaze. The fire wouldn't bother Leo, but if his friends got trapped up here, no, he had to act quickly. One of the Earthborn, apparently not the most intelligent one, charged the tree harvester, and Leo swung the crane arm in his direction. As soon as the blades touched the ogre, he dissolved like wet clay and splattered all over the clearing. Most of him flew into Leo's face. He spit clay out of his mouth and turned the harvester toward the 3 remaining Earthborn, who backed up quickly. "Bad, vroom vroom," one yelled. "Yeah, that's right," Leo yelled at them. "You want some bad vroom vroom? Come on." Now let's freaking go, Leo. Unfortunately, they did. 3 ogres with 6 arms each. Hold on. The ogres with 6 arms, each throwing large hard rocks at super speed, and Leo knew it was over. Somehow he launched himself in a backward somersault over the harvester, half a second before a boulder demolished the driver's seat. Damn. Rocks slammed into metal. By the time Leo stumbled to his feet, the harvester looked like a crushed soda can, sinking in the mud. "Dozer!" Leo yelled. The ogres were picking up more clumps of earth. But this time they were glaring in Piper's direction. Is Dozer like a bullshit joke? Because he's saying like bull. I imagine the anti-Athena doesn't plan at all. They just randomly do stuff and it actually works out for them. That would be funny. We'll only be listening for the next 20 BRB. Well, that's fine. Do whatever you gotta do. Where is the Hephaestus branded celestial bronze Glock? They don't make guns, dude. They should though. 30 feet away, the bulldozer roared to life. Leo's makeshift gadget had done its job, burrowing into the earth mover's controls and giving it a temporary life of its own. It roared towards the enemy, just as Piper cut her father free and caught him in her arms. The giant launched their second volley of stones. The dozer soiled in the mud, skidding to intercept. Most of the rocks slammed into its shovel. The force was so great it pushed the dozer back. 2 rocks ricocheted and struck their throwers. 2 more Earthborn melted into clay. Unfortunately, 1 rock hit the dozer's engine, sending up a cloud of oily smoke, and the dozer groaned to a stop, and the great toy broken. Piper dragged her father below the ridge. The last Earthborn charged after her. Leo was out of tricks, but he couldn't let the monster get to Piper. What is Jason doing? Jason locking him. Let the monster get to Piper. He ran forward, straight through the flames, and grabbed something, anything from his toil. "Hey, stupid!" he yelled, and threw a screwdriver at the Earthborn. Let's go. It didn't kill the ogre, but it sure got his attention. The screwdriver sank hilt deep into the Earthborn's forehead, like he was made of Play-Doh. The Earthborn yelped in pain and skidded to a halt. He pulled out the screwdriver and turned and glared at Leo. Sadly, this last ogre looked like the biggest and nastiest of the bunch. The guy had really gone all out creating him, with extra muscle, upgrade, deluxe ugly face, and the whole package. "Oh great," Leo thought, "I've made a friend." "You die," the Earthborn roared. "Friend of Jason dies." The ogre scooped up his handfuls of dirt, which immediately hardened into rock cannonballs. Leo's mind went blank. He reached into his tool belt, but he couldn't think of anything that would help. He was supposed to be clever, but he couldn't craft or build or tinker his way out of this one. "Fine," he thought. "I'll go out blaze of glory style." He burst into flames, yelled Hephaestus. Yelled, "Hephaestus!" Oh shit, okay. And there we go. Now I'm reading properly. And charged at the ogre barehanded. Sorry, my brain for a second. He never got there. A blur of turquoise and black flashed behind the ogre. Interesting. A gleaming bronze blade sliced up one side of the Earthborn and down the other. 6 large arms dropped to the ground, boulders rolling out of their useless hands. Earthborn looked down, very surprised when the arms go bye-bye. Then he melted into the ground. Piper stood there, breathing hard, her dagger covered with clay. Dang, did Piper kill him? Her dad sat on the ridge, dazed and wounded, but still alive. Her expression was ferocious, almost crazy, like a cornered animal. Leo was glad she was on his side. Let's freaking go, dude. Piper's expression was ferocious, almost... No, I already did that. Nobody hurts my friends, she said. And with a sudden warm feeling, Leo realized she was talking about him. Then she yelled, "Come on!" Leo saw the battle wasn't over. Jason was still fighting. Oh, that's what he's doing. He's fighting the giant. Never mind. Fighting the giant Nicoletus, and it wasn't going well. That sounds like a chapter end sentence. Yep. It is. Yeah, we're getting Jason. Okay, that was sick. That was sick. W, Leo. Remember when Annabeth... What? Did Annabeth do something with a gun? I do not remember her ever holding a gun. Oh, Annabeth's dad saw a demigod using magic swords to fight monsters and said, "Yeah, I can turn that into a gun." Oh, interesting. I don't remember that. That's cool. I'm guessing he just fucking lied and didn't do that. But that was sick. They took out all the, all the little side monsters, which was still crazy. Crazy monsters, but now it's freak. I've been waiting. I've been really wanting to see Jason versus Enceladus, dude. I hope I'm saying that name correctly because it doesn't feel like I am, but that is about to be cool. Okay. Good chapter. I think this episode's about to be more exciting. 36 minutes. 461. We have to get to... What page do we have to get to? $5.53. Can we do it? Place your bets now. It was in the third book when he used celestial bronze to make ammo for his plane. I vaguely remember that. I figured it was in Titan's Curse. That's the only one with Annabeth's dad, really. But ooh, it's gonna be in season 3, PJO. So that is cool. Anyways, Jason, 43. Jason's lance broke. What the fuck? I hope it comes back. It's a magical weapon, right? He knew he was dead. Can it? Thank you. He knew he was dead. The battle had started well enough. Jason's instincts kicked in, and his gut told him he dueled opponents almost this big before. Oh God, has he? I want to know Jason's backstory. Size and strength equaled slowness, so Jason just had to be quicker, pace himself, ward his opponent, and avoid getting smashed or flame broiled. He rolled away from the giant's first spear thrust and jabbed Enceladus in the ankle. Jason's javelin managed to pierce the thick dragon hide and golden ichor. The blood of the immortals trickled down the giant's clawed foot. Damn, it was what I thought. I guess he can still use the top of it since it's broke. Enceladus bellowed in pain and blasted him with fire. Jason scrambled away, rolling behind the giant, and struck it again behind the knee. It seems like a sword would be better for this. It went on like that for seconds, minutes. It was hard to judge. Jason learned combat across the clearing, construction equipment, grinding, fire roaring, monsters shouting, and rock smashing the metal. Here, Leo and Piper yelling defiantly, which meant they were still alive. Jason tried not to think about it. He couldn't afford to get distracted. Enceladus' spear missed him by a millimeter. Jason kept dodging, but the ground stuck to his feet. Gaia was getting stronger, and the giant was getting faster. Enceladus might be slow, but he wasn't dumb. He began anticipating Jason's moves, and Jason's attacks were only annoying him, making him more enraged. Jason, I need you to start fucking switching it up, bro. I'm not some minor monster, Enceladus bellowed. I am a giant born to destroy gods. Your little gold toothpick can't kill me, boy. We're about to find out, aren't we? Jason didn't waste energy replying. He was already tired. The ground clung to his feet and making him feel like he weighed an extra 100 pounds. The air was full of smoke that burned his legs. Fire roared around him, stoked by the wind. Just fly, dude. By the winds. And the temperature was approaching the heat of an oven. Jason raised his javelin to block the giant. Summon some lightning! Block the giant's next strike, and a big mistake. Don't fight force with force. A voice chided with him, the wolf of Lupo. We told him that long ago. Interesting. He managed to deflect the spear, but it grazed his shoulder and his arm went numb. Poor ninja locking. He backed up, almost tripping over a burning log. He had to delay to keep the giant's attention fixed on him while his friends dealt with the Earthborn and rescued Piper's dad. He couldn't fail. He retreated, trying to lure the giant to the edge of the clearing, and Calidus could sense his weariness. The giant smiled, baring his fangs. "The mighty Jason Grace," he taunted. "Yes, we know about you, son of Jupiter. The one who led the assault on Mount Othrys. The one who single-handedly slew the Titan Krios and toppled the Black Throne." What? Jason lore? Okay. Give me some more. Jason's mind reeled. He didn't know these names. They made his skin tingle as if his body remembered the pain his mind didn't. Dude, give me a freaking Jason Grace in the freaking Heroes of Rome series. What are you talking about? He asked. He realized his mistake when Calidus breathed fire. Distracted, Jason moved too slowly. The blast missed him, but heat blistered his neck. He slammed into the ground, his clothes smoldering. He was blinded from ash and smoke, choking as he tried to breathe. He scrambled back as a giant spear cleaved the ground between his feet. Jason managed to stand. If he could only summon one good blast of lightning. But he was already drained, and in this condition, it might kill him. He didn't know if electricity would harm the giant. Figure it out. Shoot him, bro. This is one thing I would test. It's the first thing I would test. Death in battle is honorable, said Lupa's voice. That's real comforting, Jason thought. One last try. Jason took a breath and charged, and Calidus let him approach, grinning with anticipation. At the last second, Jason faked a strike and rolled between the giant's legs. He came up quickly, thrusting with all his might, ready to stab the giant in the small of his back, but Calidus anticipated the trick. He stepped aside with too much speed and agility for a giant, as if the earth were helping him move. He swept his spear sideways, met Jason's javelin, and with a snap like a shotgun blast, the golden weapon shattered. Oh, okay. That's when it broke. The explosion was hotter than the giant's breath, blinding Jason with golden light. The force knocked him off his feet and squeezed the breath out of him. Blast him with lightning. When he regained his focus, he was sitting at the rim of a crater, and Calidus stood at the other side, staggering and confused. The javelin's destruction had released so much energy, it had blasted a perfect cone-shaped pit 30 feet deep, fusing the dirt and rock into a slick, glassy substance. Jason wasn't sure how he'd forgive, but his clothes were steaming. He was out of energy. He had no weapon, and Calidus was still very much alive. Blast him with lightning. Jason tried to get up, but his legs were like lead, and Calidus blinked at the destruction, then laughed. Impressive. Unfortunately, that was your last trick. Last trick, demigod. And Calidus leaped the crater in a single bound, planting his feet on the other side of Jason. The giant raised spear, its tip hovering 6 feet over Jason's chest. And now, Calidus said, my first sacrifice to Gaia. Blast him with lightning! Wait, Jason is him since he's been him. We just don't know. Because they won't tell us about his backstory. This is so sad. This is so sad. Jesus Christ, there's so many chapters in this book. 44, dude. Chapter 44. Bro, I need Jason to shoot lightning like Emperor freaking Palpatine at this guy, man. None of this. Quit this waiting and like, I don't know if lightning will affect him. Blast him and find out. Blast him and find out, bro. That's what you need to do. Also, I hope the spear comes back. Like, I hope it like can't be permanently destroyed, like Percy's weapon. Well, Percy's weapon has never been destroyed, I don't think. Jason, I would like to apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game, literally, bro. It's like he did some stuff, some Percy level stuff while Percy was off doing his stuff, which is pretty cool. Time seemed to slow down, which was really frustrating since Jason still couldn't. 44, by the way, Jason 44. It was really frustrating since Jason still couldn't move. He felt himself sinking into the earth, like the ground was a waterbed, comfortable, urging him to relax and give up. He wondered if the stories of the underworld were true. Would he end up in the fields of punishment or Elysium? Probably Elysium, since, like, You're doing some hero shit. And if he couldn't remember any of his deeds, would they still count? He wondered if the judges would take that into consideration, or if his dad Zeus would write him a note. Please accuse Jason of maternal damnation. He has had amnesia. Probably that second thing. I imagine they still count. Jason couldn't feel his arms. He could see the tip of the spear coming toward his chest in slow motion. He knew he should move, but he couldn't seem to do it. Funny, he thought. All that effort to stay alive, and then boom, you just lie there, helplessly, while a fire-breathing giant impales you. His voice yelled, "Heads up, let's go!" A large black metal wedge slammed into Enceladus with a massive thunk. The giant toppled over and slid into the pit. "Jason, get up!" Piper called. Her voice energized him, shook him out of his stupor. He sat up, his head groggy, while Piper grabbed him under his arms and hauled him to his feet. "Don't die on me," she ordered. "You are not dying on me, bro." Piper locked in. She locked in so hard. "Yes, ma'am." He felt lightheaded, but she was about the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. Bro, it's not the time. Not the time to be raising her up. Her hair was smoldering. Her face was smudged with soot. She had a cut on her arm. Her dress was torn, and she was missing a boot. Beautiful, about 100 feet behind her, Leah was standing over a piece of construction equipment, a long cannon-like thing with a single massive piston, the edge broken clean off. Then Jason looked down the crater and saw where the other end of the hydraulic axe had gone. Enceladus was struggling to rise, an axe blade the size of a washing machine stuck in his breastplate. Amazingly, the giant managed to pull the axe blade free. He yelled in pain, and the mountain trembled. Golden ichor soaked the front of his armor, but Enceladus stood. Shakily, he bent down and retrieved his spear. "Good try," the giant winced, "but I cannot be beaten." As they watched, the giant's armor mended itself, and the ichor stopped flowing. Even the cuts on his dragon scale legs, which Jason had worked so hard to make, were now just pale scars. Dang. He heals fast. Leah ran up to them, saw the giant, and cursed. "What is it with this guy? Die already! Just kill him. Kill the crap out of him." "My fate is preordained," Enceladus said. "Giants cannot be killed by gods or heroes, only by both." "Really? Then why are we even fighting you?" "Dip, let's just run," Jason said. The giant's smile faltered, and Jason saw... Oh, what time is it? Is it 9:50? It is. It's 7:50. And Jason saw in his eyes something like fear. It's true, isn't it? Gods and demigods have to work together to kill you. Interesting. You will not live long enough to try. It's interesting that the giants are, like, more powerful than the titans. Because the titan just sounds like a cooler thing. You know? Door 2. You will not live long enough to try. The giant started stumbling up the crater's slope, slipping on the glassy sides. "Anyone have a god handy?" Leo asked. Jason's heart filled with dread. He looked at the giant below him, struggling to get out of the pit, and he knew what had to happen. "Leo," he said, "if you've got a rope in that tool belt, get it ready." He leaped at the giant with no weapon but his bare hands. "Enceladus," Piper yelled, "look behind you!" It was an obvious trick, but her voice was so compelling even Jason bought it. The giant said, "What?" and turned like there was an enormous spider on his back. Jason tackled his legs at the right moment. The giant lost his balance, and Enceladus slammed to the crater and slid to the bottom. While he tried to rise, Jason put his arms around the giant's neck. His 30 fucking foot tall neck. I'm assuming his neck's like fucking huge. When Enceladus struggled to his feet, Jason was riding his shoulders. "Get off!" Enceladus screamed. He tried to grab Jason's legs, but Jason scrabbled around, squirming and climbing over the giant's hair. Bother, Jason thought. If I've ever done anything good, anything you approved of, help me now. I offer my own life. just to save my friends. Ooh, is Zeus about to pull up? Suddenly, you could smell the metallic scent of a storm. Darkness swallowed the sun. The giant froze, sensing it too. Jason yelled to his friends, "Hit the deck!" And every hair on his head stood up. Crack! Lightning surged through Jason's body. Let's freaking go. Straight through Ankelus and into the ground. The giant's back stiffened, and Jason was thrown clear. When he regained his bearings, he was slipping down the side of the crater, and the crater was cracking open. The lightning bolt had split the mountain itself. Zeus was like, "Yeah, I guess." The earth rumbled and tore apart, and Ankelus' legs slid into the chasm. He clawed helplessly at the glassy sides of the pit, and just for a moment managed to hold on to the edge. His hands trembling, he fixed Jason with a look of hatred. "You've won nothing, my boy. Your brothers are rising, and they are 10 times as strong as I. We will destroy the gods at their roots. You will die, and Olympus will die." With the giant lost his grip and fell into the crevice. The earth shook. Jason fell toward the rift. "Grab hold!" Leo yelled. Jason's feet were at the edge of the chasm when he grabbed the rope, and Leo and Piper pulled him up. They stood together, exhausted and terrified, as the chasm closed like an angry mouth. The ground stopped pulling at their feet, for now Gaia was gone. Oh crap. Let's go. That was sick. The mountainside was on fire. Smoke billowed. Hundreds of feet. Oh shit. Itchy nose, dude. This is so green. Into the air. Jason spotted the helicopter. Maybe firefighters or reporters coming toward them. All around them was carnage. The Earthborn had melted into piles of clay, leaving behind only the rock, missiles, and some nasty bits of loincloth. But Jason figured they would reform soon enough. Construction equipment lay in ruins. The ground was scarred and blackened. Coach Hedge started to move. He sat up with a groan and rubbed his head. His canary yellow pants were now the color of Dijon mustard. He blinked and looked around him at the battle scene. Did I do this? No. Actually, yes. Yes, you did, Coach Hedge. Thank you for your service. Zeus with the play of the game, for sure. How do you have lightning powers and you are fighting your toughest opponent, and yet you don't immediately blast them with lightning? Like, are you even taking this seriously? Bro, I don't understand. There needs to be some rules that I'm not privy to as to why Jason doesn't just shoot lightning at everyone. If I could just shoot... Because it's not like Percy. You don't need to be near water. Like, Percy needs to be near water. And when he's near water, he uses it. But I'm like, Jason, just shoot lightning at the guy, bro. Just use lightning him, dude. What are we even doing here? Before Jason could reply, Hedge picked up his club and got shakily to his feet. Yeah, you wanted some hoof? I gave you some hoof cupcakes. Who's the goat? He did a little dance, kicking rocks, making what were probably rude satyr gestures with the piles of clay. Leo cracked a smile and couldn't help it. He started to laugh. It probably sounded a little hysterical, but it was such a relief to be alive, he didn't care. Then a man stood up across the clearing. Tristan McLean staggered forward. His eyes were hollow, shell-shocked, like someone who just walked through a nuclear wasteland. Piper, he called. His voice cracked. Pipes? What is... He couldn't complete the thought. Piper ran over to him and hugged him tightly. But he didn't seem to hear. He didn't seem to know her. But he almost didn't seem to know her. Jason had felt a similar way the morning at the Grand Canyon, when he woke up with no memory, but Mr. McLean had the opposite problem. He had too many memories, too much trauma. His mind just couldn't handle it. He was coming apart. We need to get him out of here, Jason said. Yeah, but how? Leo said. He's in no shape to walk. Jason glanced up at the helicopter, which was now circling directly overhead. Can you make us a bullhorn or something? He asked Leo. Piper has some talking to do. Interesting. Now we're into Piper. Dang. Is she gonna do it? Is she gonna freaking erase her dad's memories? I'm so curious. I wonder if she is. Because usually parents know about their demigod children and their fucking nonsense. Piper's dad can't handle it, and if she does erase the memories, we'll find out later in the series. Like, will that happen? That's interesting. But that was a cool chapter. Very cool battle. Very sick that Zeus aided. That's like the first nice thing you've ever seen Zeus do, I think. In the entire series. That is the first time I think I've seen Zeus choose to help out a demigod. Which, that's really cool. I like that a lot. But does that mean like he likes Jason a lot, or is, I don't know, because I don't remember him helping Thalia. So I also remember Thalia using a lot more lightning than Jason did. Jason needs to lock in. Because Thalia's outdoing it right now. The only reason I can think why Jason doesn't use lightning more often is, one, it takes too much stamina and he is super drained after using it, or two, he doesn't know how to and it's instinctual. It's probably the first thing. That's probably what it is. But I wish they would say that. Like I'm too tired to shoot lightning, so I didn't do that. And I go, okay, word. But if you just don't do it, I'm just gonna assume you're whack. Like, shoot lightning people, bro. I need to figure it out. I need to grab some. Never mind, I don't need to grab some. There's water right here. So let me turn my camera off for approximately 10 seconds. I can pick my nose. I don't want the internet seeing me pick my nose. I know I've done it before, but I try not to. Alright. The less clips of me picking my nose that are online, the better. There's a general rule of thumb. Alright. Piper! Chapter 45. Borrowing the helicopter was easy. Getting her dad on board was not. Also, these chapters are planned out really well. For this weird pattern that Riordan has chosen to do, they're planned out very well. I guess to what's going to happen when who needs to be the center of attention, whatever. I wish she didn't do this pattern. I wish it was more random, but I think it'll end up getting more random later. Borrowing the helicopter was easy. Getting her dad on board was not. Piper needed only a few words through Leo's improvised bullhorn to convince the pilot to land on the mountain. The Park Service... Oh, that's what she was doing. The Park Service copter was big enough for medical evacuation, just search and rescue, and Piper told the very nice ranger pilot lady that it would be a great idea to fly them to the Oakland airport. She readily agreed. No, her dad muttered as they picked him up off the ground. Jesus Christ. Piper, what? There were monsters. She needed both Leo and Jason's help to hold him. While Coach Hedge gathered their supplies, make him drink the pink stuff, bro. Fortunately, Hedge had put his pants and shoes back on, so Piper doesn't have to explain the goat legs. It broke Piper's heart to see her dad like this, pushed beyond his breaking point, crying like a little boy. Oh man, that's tough. She didn't know what the giant had done to him exactly, or the monsters had shattered his spirit, but she didn't think she could stand to find out. It'll be okay, Dad, she said, making her voice as soothing as possible. She didn't want to charm speak her own father, but it seemed the only way. These people are my friends. We're going to help you. You're safe now. He blinked and looked up at the helicopter rotor's blades. Yet they had a machine with so many blades. They had 6 arms. When they got him to the bay doors. Oh yeah, sometimes humans see stuff that scares them, that fucks their brain up. Right? That we got told that in the first series. When they got him to the bay doors, the pilot came over to help. What's wrong with him? She asked. Smoke inhalation, Jason suggested, or heat exhaustion. She didn't do a hospital, the pilot said. It's okay, Pepper said. The airport is good. Yeah, the airport is good, the pilot agreed immediately. And she frowned as if uncertain why she changed her mind. Isn't he Tristan McLean, the movie star? No, Piper said. He only looks like him. Forget it. Yeah, the pilot said. Only looks like it. Fucking, she's Jedi mind tricking. She blinked, confused. I forgot what I was saying. Let's get going. Jason raised his eyebrows at Piper, obviously impressed, but Piper felt miserable. She didn't want to twist people's minds, convince them of things they didn't believe. It felt so bossy, so wrong, something Drew would do back at camp. Or Medea in her evil department store. How would it help her father? She couldn't convince him he'd be okay, or that nothing had happened. His trauma was just too deep. Give him the pink stuff. Finally, they got him on board, and the helicopter took off. The pilot kept getting questions over the radio, asking her where she was going, but she ignored them. They veered away from the burning mountain and headed toward the Berkeley Hills. Piper, her dad grasped her hand and held on like he was afraid he'd fall. "It's you. They told me you would die. They said horrible things would happen. It's me, Dad." It took all her willpower not to cry. She had to be strong for him. "Dang, everything's going to be okay." They were monsters, he said, real monsters. Earth spirits right out of the Grandpa's Tom stories. And the Earth monster was angry with me, and the giant Sulukalu breathing fire. He focused on Piper again, his eyes like broken glass, reflecting a crazy kind of light. They said you were a demigod. Your mother was Aphrodite, Piper said, goddess of love. He took a shaky breath and seemed to forget how to exhale. Piper's friends were careful not to watch. Leo fiddled with a lug nut from his tool belt. Jason gazed at the valley below the road, backing up as mortals stopped their cars and gawked at the burning mountains. Gleason chewed on the stub of his carnation, and for once the satyr didn't look in the mood to yell or boast. Tristan McLean wasn't supposed to be seen like this. He was a star. He was confident, stylish, suave, and always in control. That was the public image he projected. Piper had seen the image falter before, but this was different. Now it was broken, gone. "I didn't know about Mom," Piper told him. "Not until you were taken. When we found out where you were, we came right away. My friends helped me. No one will hurt you again." Her dad couldn't stop shivering. "You're heroes. You and your friends, I can't believe it. You're a real hero. Not like me, not playing a part. I'm so proud of you, Pipes." But the words were muddled listlessly in a semi-trance. He gazed down on the valley, and his grip on Piper's hand went slack. "Your mother never told me. She thought it was for the best." It sounded lame, even to Piper, and no amount of charm speak could change that. But she didn't tell her dad what Aphrodite had really worried about. Hopefully you cannot hear that in my background. It's my brother yelling. If you can, I'm sorry. It was even to Piper. "Oh, I heard that. Okay, well that's freaking awesome. Thanks for that, brother. Awesome. Can't wait to move out here. It's gonna be great, bro." But she didn't tell her dad what Aphrodite had really worried about. If he has to spend the rest of his life with those memories, knowing that gods and spirits walk the earth, it will shatter him. Piper felt inside the pocket of her jacket. The vial was. She has to make the decision sooner because I got a lap family too. It freaking sucks. It only what's the word? It only works on new memories, right? Like the recent memories. The vial was still there, warm to the touch. But how could she erase his memories? Her dad finally knew who she was. He was proud of her, and for once she was his hero, not the other way around. He would never send her away now. They shared a secret. How could she go back to the way things were? She held his hand, speaking to him about small things. One time at the wilderness school, her cabin at Camp Half-Blood. He told him how Coach had 8 carnations and got knocked off his butt at Mount Diablo. And Leo had tamed the dragon, and how Jason had made wolves back down by talking in Latin. Her friends smiled reluctantly as she recounted their adventures. Her dad seemed to relax as she talked, but he didn't smile. Piper wasn't even sure he heard her. The thing is, you can't decide immediately if it's going to break him forever. I mean, you have to wait, but you can't wait because if you do, the potion won't work. As they passed over the hills into the East Bay, Jason tensed. He leaned so far out the doorway, Piper was ready to fall. He pointed. "What is that?" Piper looked down, but she didn't see anything interesting. Just hills, woods, houses, little roads snaking through the canyons. A highway cut through a tunnel in the hills, connecting the East Bay with inland towns. "Where?" Piper asked. "The road," he said. "The one that goes through the hills." Piper picked up the comm helmet Violet had given her and relayed the question over the radio. The answer wasn't very exciting. She said, "It's Highway 24, Piper reported. That's the Caldecott Tunnel. Why?" Christian stared intently at the tunnel, entranced. But he said nothing. It disappeared from view as they flew over downtown Oakland. Jason still stared into the distance, his expression almost unsettled. As Piper's dad's monsters, her dad said, a tear tracing his cheek. "I live in a world of monsters." Chill out, bro. It's not that serious, man. Don't even trip off. My daughter's gonna say, dang. End of chapter, by the way. Dang, dang. Diggity, dang, dang. Dang, dang. Diggity, dang, dang. We've read 5 chapters so far. And how many pages has it been? Like 30 pages? About 30 pages. I think it's been like 30. I started on like 443. I think I did. Didn't I start on 443? That's absurd. I did. I've only read 30 pages. That's crazy. And I have to read about 70 more. Don't be so melodramatic. There are already monsters in this world. They just look like humans. That's a freaking bar, dude. That's a bar. And yes, you think about it like that, the world is already a screwed place. But God, let's finish. We can do this. We can do this. Before Solo Mio comes, like, before Solo Mio releases, or my movie starts. Air traffic control didn't want to let. 41, chapter 40. No, 46. 46. I wonder. I think she's gonna do it. I think she's going to pour the memory juice down his throat and make him feel all better. I think she is. Air traffic control didn't want to let an unscheduled helicopter land at Oakland Airport, and the Piper got on the radio. Then it turned out to be no problem. They unloaded on the tarmac, and everyone looked at Piper. "What now?" Jason asked. She was uncomfortable. She didn't want to be in charge before her dad's sake. She had to appear confident. She had no plan. She just remembered that he'd flown into Oakland, which meant his private plane would still be here. But today was the solstice. They had to save Hera. They had no idea where to go, if they were even too late. All right, we still have to do that. Forgot about that. And how could she leave her dad in this condition? First thing she said, "I have to get Dad home. I'm sorry, guys." Their faces fell. Bro, Piper, freaking lock in. We gotta save the world, bro. Throw your dad the juice and let's go. Oh, Leo said, "I mean, absolutely. He needs you right now. We can take it from here." Pipes, no. Her dad had been sitting in the helicopter doorway, a blanket around his shoulders, but he stumbled to his feet. "You have a mission, a quest. I'll take care of him," said Coach Hedge. Piper stared at him. The satyr was the last person she'd expected to offer. "You?" she asked. "I'm a protector," Gleason said. "That's my job, not fighting." Let's go, Gleason. He sounded a little crestfallen, and Piper realized maybe she shouldn't have recounted how he got knocked unconscious in the last battle. In his own way, maybe this hitter was as sensitive as her dad. When Head straightened and set his jaw. "Of course, I'm good at fighting too," he glared at them all, daring them to argue. "Yes," Jason said. "Terrifying," Leo agreed. The coach grinned, "But I'm a protector, and I can do this. Let's go." "Your dad's right, Piper. You need to carry on with this quest." "But..." Piper's eyes stung as if she were back in the forest fire. "Dad," he held out his arms, and she hugged him. He felt frail. He was trembling so much it scared her. "Let's give them a minute," Jason said, and they took the pilot a few yards down the tarmac. "I can't believe it," her dad said. "I failed you." "No, Dad. The things they did, Piper, the visions they showed me." "Dad, listen." She took out the vial from her pocket. "Aphrodite gave me this for you. It takes away..." Ooh, yeah, you can tell him. "It takes away your recent memories. It'll make it like none of this ever happened." He gazed at her, as if translating her words from a foreign language. "But you're a hero. I would forget that." "Yes," Piper whispered. She forced an assuring tone into her voice. "Yes, you would. It'll be like before." He closed his eyes and took a shaky breath. "I love you, Piper. I always have. I sent you away because I didn't want you exposed to my life. Not the way I grew up. The poverty, the hopelessness, not the Hollywood insanity either. I thought I was protecting you." Hate that trope. Oh, I hate that. Whatever. He managed a brittle laugh. As if your life without me was better or safer. Piper took his hand. She heard him talk about protecting her before, but she'd never believed it. She'd always thought he was just rationalizing. Her dad seemed so confident and easygoing, like life was a joyride. How could he claim she needed protecting from that? Finally, Piper understood. He'd been acting for her benefit, trying to show how scared and insecure he was. He really had been trying to protect her, and now his ability to cope had been destroyed. Sharpen the vial. Take it. Maybe someday we'll be ready to talk about this again. When you're ready. When I'm ready, he murmured. You make it sound like I'm the one growing up. I'm supposed to be the parent. He took the vial, his eyes gleaming with a small, desperate hope. I love you, Pipes. Oh, dang. He does. Yep, he drinks it. Yep, all right. I didn't think he was going to give her the choice, though, but he gave him the choice, which is the best option. Love you too, Dad. He drank the pink liquid. His eyes rolled up into his head, and he slumped forward. Piper caught him, and her friend ran to help. Got him, Ed said. The satyr stumbled, but he was strong enough to hold Tristan and clean upright. I already asked our ranger friend to call up this plane. It's on the way home now. What's on the way home now? Home address. Piper's about to tell him. Then a thought occurred to her. She checked her dad's pocket, and his BlackBerry was still there. It seemed bizarre that he'd still have something so normal after all. Dang, these books are old. After all he'd been through. But she guessed Enceladus hadn't seen any reason to take it. Everything's on here, 100%. Address, his chauffeur's number. Just watch out for Jane. Edge's eyes lit up like he'd sensed a possible fight. Who's Jane? By the time Piper explained, her dad's sleek white Gulfstream had taxied next to the helicopter. Hedge and the flight attendant got Piper's dad on board, and Hedge came down one last time to say his goodbyes. He gave Piper a hug and glared at Jason and Leo. You cupcakes take care of this girl, you hear? Or I'm gonna make you do push-ups. You got it, Coach. Leo said, a smile tugging at his mouth. No push-ups, Jason promised. Piper gave the old satyr one more hug. Thank you, Gleason. Take care of him, please. If anything, I would appreciate that there are monsters because of their candor, with straight up telling me they want me to kill me rather than pretend to be a normal person. Facts, bro. God, if everybody evil was upfront about their evilness, life would be a much better place. The earth would be a much chiller place, dude. Oh, you're evil. Word. Okay, cool. I freak it. But no, that's what makes them so evil. Their sneakiness, their conniving, nasty nature. They got this McLean. He assured her. They got root beer and veggie enchiladas on this flight. And 100% linen napkins. Yum! I could get used to this. Trotting up the stairs, he lost one shoe. His zip fizzled for a second. The flight attendant's eye widened, but she looked away and pretended nothing was wrong. Hyper figured she'd probably seen stranger things working for Tristan McLean. When the plane was heading down the runway, Hyper started to cry. She'd been holding it in too long, and she just couldn't anymore. Before she knew it, Jason was hugging her. Of course. And Leo stood comfortably nearby, pulling Kleenex out of his tool belt. Your dad's in good hands, Jason said. You did amazing. She sobbed into his shirt. She allowed herself to be held for 6 deep breaths. 7. Then she couldn't indulge herself anymore. They needed her. The helicopter pilot was already looking uncomfortable. She was starting to wonder why she'd flown them here. Thank you guys, Hyper said. She wanted to tell them how much they meant to her. Her sacrifice, they'd sacrificed everything, maybe even their quest to help her. She couldn't repay them. She couldn't even put her gratitude into words, but her friend's expression told her they understood. Then right next to Jason, the air began to shimmer. At the first thought, it was heat off the tarmac, or maybe gas from the helicopter, but she'd seen something like this. Before in Medea's fountain, it was an iris message. An image appeared in the air. A dark-haired girl in a silver winter camouflage holding a bow. Thalia? Yes! Isn't the black surprise Thalia? Let's go! Let's go! That's not an amnesia potion. That was pure moonshine. So strong. So strong and annihilated so many brain cells that he won't even remember his own name. That is the real life amnesia potion, isn't it? That's crazy. Using them back, Thalia, thank the gods, said the hunter. The scene behind her was hard to make out. Hyper heard yelling, metal clashing on metal and explosions. We found her, Thalia said. Where are you? Oakland, he said. Where are you? The Wolf House. Oakland is good. You're not too far. We're holding off the Giants' minions, but we can't hold them forever. Get here before sunset, or it's all over. And it's not too late, Piper cried. Hope surged through her, but Thalia's expression quickly dampened it. Not yet, Thalia said. But Jason, it's worse than I realized. Porphyrion is rising. Who? Hurry. Where's Wolf House? He led. Our last trip, Thalia said. Her image staring into the flicker. The park. Jack London, remember? It made no sense to Piper, but Jason looked like he'd been shot. He tottered, his face pale, and the ice machine disappeared. Bro, you alright? Leo asked. You know where she is? Yes, Jason said. Sonoma Valley. Not far. Not by air. Piper turned to the ranger pilot, who'd been watching all of this with an increasingly positive expression. Ma'am, Piper said with her best smile, you don't mind helping us one more time, do you? I don't mind, the pilot agreed. We can't take a mortal into battle, Jason said. It's too dangerous, he turned to Leo. Do you think you could fly this thing? His expression didn't exactly reassure Piper. But then he put his hand on this. They're mortals too, whatever. Then he put his hand on the side of the helicopter, concentrating hard, as if listening to the machine. Bell, 412 HP, utility helicopter, Leo said. Composite four-blade main rotor, cruising speed 22 knots, service ceiling 20,000 feet. Dang, he can read this like Poseidon kids can read ley lines. The tank is near full. Sure, I could fly it. Piper smiled at the ranger again. You don't have a problem with an underage, unlicensed kid borrowing your copter, do you? We'll return it. The pilot nearly choked in the words, but she got them out. I don't have a problem with that. Leo grinned. Hop in, kids. Uncle Leo's gonna take you for a ride. Let's go. That's sick. I like that moment between Piper and her dad. And yeah, so probably one day, probably in like book 4, I'm guessing, Piper will tell her dad. And he'll be like, word, that's so sick. Either book 4 or 5. Wouldn't that be easier? Look at how much freaking book we have left. You have about this much book left and about an hour and a half to read it. Oh, that's like, it's like 60. No, this is like 70 pages now. This is like exactly 70 pages is how much we have left. Okie dokie. How much am I? Okay. Anyways. Let us words. Let us continue. Jesus fucking Christ, man. We're getting closer and closer to Percy. Leo, no offense, but Leo has had a bad track record when it comes to flying. False. Leo has never flown anything. The dragon flies itself. This is the first time Leo is about to fly something. So we'll see how he does. Fly a helicopter? Sure, why not? Leo has done plenty of crazier things that week. That's very true. The sun was going down as they flew north over the Richmond Bridge, and Leo couldn't believe the day had gone so quickly. Once again, nothing like ADHD and a good fight to the death to make time fly. Piloting the chopper, he went back and forth between confidence and panic. If he didn't think about it, he found himself automatically flipping the right switches, checking the altimeter, easing back on the stick and flying straight. If he allowed himself to consider what he was doing, he started freaking out. That's a message for life right there. Trust your instincts. He imagined his Aunt Rosa yelling at him in Spanish, telling him he was a delinquent lunatic who was going to crash and burn. That's not a good thing to imagine, Leo. While we're flying a helicopter, I need you focused on the task at hand. Piper asked from the co-pilot's seat. Going okay? Piper asked from the co-pilot's seat. Sorry, reason. Part of Mrs. Becky, she was right. Going okay? Piper asked from the co-pilot's seat. There we go. He sounded more nervous than he was, so Leo put on a brave face. Aces, he said. So what's the Wolf House? Jason knelt between their seats, an abandoned mansion in Sonoma Valley. A demigod built it. Jack London. Leo couldn't place the name. An actor, writer. Piper said. Adventure stuff, right? Call the Wild, White Fang. Yeah, Jason said. He was the son of Mercury. I mean Hermes. He was an adventurer, traveled the world. He was even a hobo for a while, and he made a fortune writing. He bought a big ranch in the country and decided to build this huge mansion, the Wolf House. Named that because he wrote about wolves. Leo guessed partially what Jason said, but the sight and the reason he wrote about wolves, he was dropping hints about his personal experiences. There's a lot of holes in his life story. How he was born, who his dad was, why he wandered around so much. So stuff you can only explain if you know he was a demigod. The bay slipped behind them and the helicopter continued north ahead of them. Yellow hills rolled out as far as Leo could see. So Jack London went to Camp Half-Blood, Leo guessed. No, Jason said. No, he didn't. Ooh. Bro, you're freaking me out with the mysterious talk. Are you remembering your past or not? Pieces, Jason said. Only pieces. None of it good. The Wolf House is on a sacred ground. It's where London started his journey as a child, where he found out he was a demigod. That's why he returned there. He thought he could live there, claim that land, but it wasn't meant for him. The Wolf House was cursed. It burned in a fire a week before he and his wife were supposed to move in. A few years later, London died, and his ashes were buried on the site. So, Piper said. How do you know all this? A shadow crossed Jason's face. Probably just a cloud, but Leo could swear the shape looked like an eagle. I started my journey there too, Jason said. It's a powerful place for demigods. A dangerous place. If Gaia can claim it, use its power to entomb Hera on the solstice and raise Porphyrion, that might be enough to awaken the Earth God. The Earth God is fully... Okay. Leo kept his hand on the joystick, guiding the chopper at full speed. Racing toward the north, he could see some weather ahead, a spot of darkness like a cloud bank or a storm, right where they were going. Piper's dad had called him a hero earlier, and Leo couldn't believe some of the things he'd done. Smacking around cyclopses, disarming exploding doorbells, battling six-armed ogres with construction equipment. It seemed like they had happened to another person. He was just Leo Valdez. An orphan kid from Houston. Houston! H-Town! Represent. Love you. He spent his life running away, and part of him still wanted to run. What was he thinking? Flying toward a cursed mansion to fight more evil monsters. His mom's voice echoed in his head. Nothing is unfixable. Except the fact that you're gone forever, Leo thought. Seeing Piper and her dad back together had really driven that home. Even if Leo survived this quest and saved Hera, Leo wouldn't have any happy reunions. He wouldn't be going back to a loving family. He wouldn't see his mom. The helicopter shuddered, metal creaked, and Leo could almost imagine the tapping was Morse code. Not the end. Not the end. He leveled out the chopper and the creaking stopped. He was just hearing things. He couldn't dwell on his mom or the idea that kept bugging him. That guy was bringing souls back from the underworld. So why couldn't he make some good of it? Thinking like that would drive him crazy. He had a job to do. He let his instincts take over, just like flying the helicopter. If he thought about the quest too much, or what might happen afterward, he'd panic. The trick was not to think, just get through it. 30 minutes out, he told his friends, but he wasn't sure how he knew. If you want to get some rest, now's a good time. Frickin', I can't, dude. That lady is gonna frickin' slowly undaze and be like, why the fuck did I let this take my helicopter? And then she's gonna get fired. Jason strapped himself into the back of the helicopter and passed out almost immediately. Piper and Leo stayed wide awake. After a few minutes of awkward silence, Leo said, her dad will be fine, you know. Nobody's gonna mess with him. That crazy goat around. Piper glanced over, and Leo was struck by how much she'd changed. Not physically. Her presence was stronger. She seemed more here, at Wilderness School. She spent the semester trying not to be seen, hiding out in the back row of the classroom, the back of the bus, the corner of the lunchroom, as far as possible from the loud kids. Now she would be impossible to miss. It didn't matter what she was wearing. You'd have to look at her. My dad said. She said thoughtfully, "Yeah, I know. I was thinking about Jason. I'm worried about him," Leo nodded. The closer they got to the bank of the dark clouds, the more Leo worried too. He's starting to remember it. That's got to make him a little edgy. What if he's a different person? Leo had the same thought. If the mist could affect their memories, could Jason's whole personality be an illusion too? If the friend wasn't their friend, and they were heading into a cursed mansion, a dangerous place for demigods, what would happen if Jason's full memory came back in the middle of battle? Nah, Leo decided. For all we've been through, I can't see it. We're a team. Jason can handle it. Piper smoothed her blue dress, which was tattered and burned from their fight on Mount Diablo. I hope you're right. I need him. She cleared her throat. I need to trust him. I know, Leo said. After seeing her dad break down, Leo understood Piper couldn't afford to lose Jason as well. She just watched Tristan McLean, her cool, suave movie star dad, reduced to near insanity. Leo could barely stand to watch that. But for Piper, wow. Leo couldn't even imagine. He figured that would make her insecure about herself too. If weakness was inherited, she'd be wondering, could she break down the same way her dad did? Hey, don't worry, Leo said. Piper is the strongest, most powerful beauty queen I've ever met. You can trust yourself for what it's worth. You can trust me too. The helicopter dipped in the wind shear. Leo almost jumped out of his skin. He cursed and righted the chopper. Piper laughed nervously. Trust you, huh? Ah, shut up already. But he grinned at her, and for a second, it felt like he was just relaxing comfortably with a friend. Then they hit the storm clouds. Oh, let's freaking go. What did I miss? No offense, but Leo's no. Remember, a bunch of those pages are post-book extra stuff. Yeah, last page is 553. I know, but we're on 489 right now, so I'm not even looking at those. I looked at like the last book with last one with words, and so we're not even at 500 yet. So freaking got like 60 pages to go. Honestly, I might just skip the movie and see it tomorrow. That's what I might do, just so I can finish this today. I feel like it'd be weird if I didn't. It'd be weird if I didn't finish it today, you know? You got this, bro. Listen, of course, bro. I've been reading like there's no tomorrow. Anyways, damn. Bomber. Oh God. I thought of something that I did today that I biffed. Whatever. All right. Well, we'll get to it. I've been awake for 24 hours and I still made it here. Why have you been awake for 24 hours? What have you been doing? I know you didn't need to do that. Anyways, Leo freaking 48, bro. I'm learning how to read Roman numerals. Let's go. At first, Leo thought rocks were pelting the windshield. Then he realized it was sleet. Frogs built up around the edges of the glass. And slushy waves of ice blotted out his view. An ice storm, Piper shouted over the engine. And the wind, is it supposed to be this cold in Sonoma? Leo wasn't sure, but something about this storm seemed conscious, malevolent, like it was intentionally slamming them. Jason looked up quickly. He crawled forward, grabbing their suits for balance. We've got to be getting close. Leo was too busy, wrestling with the stick to reply. Suddenly, it wasn't so easy to drive the chopper. Its movement turned sluggish and jerky. The whole machine shuddered in the icy wind. The helicopter probably hadn't been prepped for cold weather flying. The controls refused to respond, and they started to lose altitude. Okay, well, lock in, Leo. Below them, the ground was a dark quilt of trees and fog. The ridge of hill loomed in front of them, and Leo yanked the stick, just clearing the treetops. There, Jason shouted. A small valley opened up before them, with the murky shape of a building in the middle. Leo aimed the helicopter straight for it. All around them were flashes of light. That reminded Leo of a tracer fire at Midas compound. Trees cracked and exploded. At the edges of the clearing. Shapes moved through the mist. Combat seemed to be everywhere. Oh, what's the frickin' flying into war then? Sit on the helicopter in an icy field about 50 yards from the house and killed the engine. He's about to relax when he heard a whistling sound and saw a dark shape hurtling toward them out of the mist. Out! Leo screamed. They leaped from the helicopter and barely cleared the rotors before a massive boom shook the ground, knocking Leo off his feet and splattering ice all over him. Thank you, dog, for barking. Where was I? He got up shakily and saw the world's largest snowball, a chunk of snow ice and dirt the size of a garage, and had been completely flat in the Bell 412. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, not getting your helicopter back. You all right? Jason ran up to him, Pepper at his side. And they both looked fine, except for being speckled with snow and mud. Yeah, Leo shivered. Guess we owe that ranger lady a new helicopter. Pepper pointed south. Fighting's over there. Then she frowned. No, it's all around us. Who am I reading from again? Leo. This is Leo, okay. Because I couldn't sleep last night, rather than ruining my sleep schedule by sleeping during the day, I have just stayed up. Fair enough, I guess. I hope they delve deeper in the powers and abilities of the gods kids in this book. This first-person POV and POJ, so we really only spend on Percy's powers as Poseidon could. This series is well at that for sure. Third person helps a lot. I agree. That is what I'm enjoying a lot. Is like seeing how different gods kids feel about different things. I hope you sleep for 13 hours tonight. I appreciate the thought, but I'll be lucky to sleep for 7. Just hit yourself on the head, drop a chair on your head, and then you'll pass out, and you won't wake up until you're energized. Works every time. She was right. The sounds of combat rang across the valley. The snow and mist made it so hard to tell for sure. But there seemed to be a circle of fighting all around the wolf house. Behind them loomed Jack London's dream home. A massive ruin of red and gray stones, a rough-hewn timber beams. Leo could imagine how it had looked before it burned down. A combination log cabin and castle, like a billionaire lumberjack might build. But in the mist and sleet, the place had a lonely, haunted feel. Leo could totally believe the ruins were cursed. Jason, a girl's voice called. Thalia appeared from the fog. Her parka caked with snow. Her bow was in her hand, and her quiver was almost empty. What about your frickin' spear and your shield, Thalia? God. She ran toward them, but made it only a few steps before the 6-armed ogre, one of the Earthborn, burst out of the storm behind her and raised a club in her hand. Look out, Leo yelled. The rest tried to help, but Thalia had it under control. Of course she freaking does. She launched herself into a flip, notching an arrow as she pivoted like a gymnast and landed in the kneeling position. The ogre got a silver arrow right between the eyes and melted into a pile of clay. Let's freaking go. That's my go. Thalia stood and retrieved her arrow, but the point had snapped off. That was my last one. She nicked the pile of clay respectfully. Stupid ogre. Nice shot, though, Leo said. Thalia ignored him as usual, which no doubt meant she thought he was as cool as ever. Of course it does. That's how girls work. If they don't talk to you, that means they like you. True story. Works every time. She hugged Jason and nodded to Piper. Just in time. My hunters are holding a perimeter on the mansion, but will be overrun any minute. By Earthborn? Jason asked. And wolves. Lycaon's minions. Thalia blew a fleck of ice off her nose. Also storm spirits. But we gave them to Aeolus, Piper protested. Who tried to kill us, Leo reminded her. Maybe he's helping Gaia again. I don't know, Thalia said. But the monsters keep reforming, almost as fast as we can kill them. We took the wolf house with no problem, surprised the guards, and then straight to Tartarus. But then this freak snowstorm blew in. Wave after wave of monsters started attacking. Now we're surrounded. I don't know who or what is leading the assault, but I think they planned this. It was a trap to kill anyone who tried to rescue Hera. Where is she? Jason asked. Inside, Thalia said. We tried to free her, but we can't figure out how to break the cage. It's only a few minutes until the sun goes down. Hera thinks that's the moment when Porphyrion will be reborn. Plus, most monsters are stronger at night. What the? Okay, well, I guess just throwing that in there. If we don't free Harris soon, she'd need to finish the thought. Leo, Jason, and Piper followed her into the ruined mansion. Who the frick is Porphyria? Did I forget who that is? It's obviously a giant of some kind. Jason stepped over the threshold and immediately collapsed. Hey, Leo caught him. None of that, man. What's wrong? This PlayStation shook his head. Sorry, it came rushing back to me. So you have been here, Piper said. We both have, Thalia said. Her expression was grim, like she was reliving someone's death. This is where Mom took us when Jason was a child. She left him here, told me he was dead. He just disappeared. She gave me to the wolves, Jason murmured. At Hera's insistence, she gave me to Lupa. That part I didn't know, Thalia frowned. Who is Lupa? An explosion shook the building. Just outside, a blue mushroom cloud billowed, raining snowflakes and ice like a nuclear blast, made of cold instead of heat. Maybe this isn't the time for questions, Leo suggested. Show us the goddess. Once inside, Jason seemed to get his bearings. The house was built in a giant U, and Jason led them between the two wings to an outside courtyard with an empty reflecting pool. At the bottom of the pool, just as Jason had described from the dream, 2 spires of rock root tendrils had cracked through the foundation. One of the spires was much bigger, a solid dark mass about 20 feet high, and to Leo it looked like a stone body bag. Underneath the mass of fused tendrils, he can make out the shape of a head, wide shoulders, a massive chest, and arms like a creature. It was stuck waist deep in the earth. No, not stuck, rising. On the opposite end of the pool, the other spire was smaller and more loosely woven. End tendrils was thick as a telephone pole, with so little space between them that Leo doubted he could have gotten his arm through. Still, he could see inside. In the center of the cage stood Tia Calida. She looked exactly like Leo remembered. Dark hair covered with the shawl, the black dress of a widow, and a wrinkled face with glinting scary eyes. She didn't glow or radiate any sort of power. She looked like a regular mortal woman. His good old psychotic babysitter. Leo dropped into the pool and approached the cage. Hola, tia. Little bit of trouble? She crossed her arms with a side expression. Don't inspect me like one of your machines, Leo Valdez. Get me out of here. Did we know that she was alive? I totally forgot about that. It was out. Dahlia stepped next to him and looked at the cage with distaste. Or maybe she was looking at the goddess. We tried everything we could think of, Leo, but maybe my heart wasn't in it. If it was up to me, I'd just have to leave her in there. Oh, Thalia Grace, the goddess said. When I get out of here, you'll be sorry you were born. Jesus Christ, bro. Oh, my bad. Why did I forget that Thea was fucking Hera? Right? That was it. That Thea was Hera. Bro, okay. Save it, Thalia snapped. You've been nothing but a curse to every child of Zeus for ages. You said a bunch of... You sent a bunch of intestinally challenged cows after my friend Annabeth. She was disrespectful. You have a statue on my legs. It was an accident. And you took my brother. Thalia's voice cracked with emotion. Here on this spot, you ruined our lives. We should leave you to Gaia. Hey, Jason intervened. Thalia, sis, I know, this isn't the time. You should help your hunters. Thalia clenched her jaw. Fine. For you, Jason. But if you ask me, she isn't worth it. Then why are you here? If you're just gonna freaking, like, at the 11th hour, be like, actually, I'm not saving you. What type of nonsense? You went through all that battle for no reason. With Thalia not being forgotten in the background, you love to see it. Wait, does that mean every girl in the world likes me? Bro, if they don't talk to you, it's because they're too scared. Because they think you're hot, bro. That's what it is. That's how women work. It's just science. It's just literally science. Thalia turned, leaped out of the pool, and stormed from the building. Leo turned to Hera with grudging respect. Intestinally challenged cows? Focus on the cage, Leo, she grumbled. And Jason, you're wiser than your sister. I chose my champion well. I'm not your champion, lady, Jason said. I'm only helping you because you stole my memories. And you're better than the alternative. Speaking of which, what's going on with that? He nodded to the other spire that looked like the king-size granite body bag. Was Leo imagining it, or had it grown taller? Since they'd gotten there. That Jason, Hera said, is the king of the giants being reborn. Well, frickin', you gotta stop that. Gross, Piper said. Indeed, Hera said. Orphirian, the strongest of his kind. Gaia needed a great deal of power to raise him again. Okay, that's who that is. My power. For weeks I've grown weaker as my essence was used to grow him a new form. So you're like a heat lamp, Leo asked, for fertilizer? The goddess guarded him, but Leo didn't care. This old lady had been making his life miserable since he was a baby. He totally had rights to rag on her. Joke all you wish, Hera said in the clip tone, but at sundown it will be too late. The giant will awake. He will offer me a choice, marry him or be consumed by the earth, and I cannot marry him. We will all be destroyed, and as we die, Gaia will awaken. Leo frowned at the giant spire. Can't we blow it up or something? Without me, you do not have the power, Hera said. You might as well try to destroy a mountain. Done that once today, Jason said. It's two. Just hurry up and let me out. Hera demanded. Jason scratches at Leo. Can you do it? I don't know. Leo tried not to panic. Besides, if she's a goddess, why hasn't she busted herself out? Hera paced furiously around her cage, cursing in ancient Greek. Use your brain, Leo, that as I pick you because you're intelligent. Once trapped, a god's power is useless. Your own father trapped me in a golden chair. It was humiliating. I had to beg him for my freedom and apologize for throwing off Olympus. Sounds fair, Leo said. Hera gave the godly stink. Dang, she's a bitch. Oh my god. The godly stink. I've watched you since you were a child, Olympus, because I knew you could aid me at this moment. If anyone could find a way to destroy this abomination, it is you. But it's not a machine. It's like Gaia thrust her hand out of the ground and Leo felt dizzy. The line of their prophecy came back to him. The forge and dove shall break the cage. Hold on, I do have an idea. Piper, I'm going to need your help, and we're going to need time. The air turned brittle with cold. The temperature dropped so fast, Leo's lips cracked, and his breath changed to mist. Frost coated the walls of the wolf house. Venti rushed in. But instead of winged men, these were shaped like horses, with dark storm cloud bodies and manes that cackled with lightning. Some had silver arrows sticking out of their flanks. Behind them came red-eyed wolves and the six-armed earthborn. Piper drew her dagger. Jason grabbed an ice-covered plank off the pool floor. Leo reached into his tool belt, but he was so shaken up, all he produced was a tin of breath mints. Dog. We don't have time for breath mints, bro. He shoved them back in, hoping nobody had noticed, and drew a hammer instead. Let's go. One of the wolves padded forward. It was dragging a human-sized statue by the leg, and at the end of the pool, the wolf opened its maw and dropped the statue for them to see an ice sculpture of a girl, an archer with short, spiky hair, and a surprised look on her face. Dahlia! Jason rushed forward, but Piper and Leo pulled him back. The ground around Thalia's statue was already wet with ice. Leo feared if Jason touched her, he might freeze too. Who did this? Jason yelled. His body crackled with electricity. I'll kill you myself. Oh, finally, now we're getting electricity. Let's go. From somewhere behind the monsters, Leo heard a girl's laughter, clear and cold. She stepped out of the mist in her snowy white dress, a silver crown atop her long black hair. She regarded them with those deep brown eyes Leo had thought were so beautiful in Quebec. Bonsoir, mamie. I'm sure I said that French completely right, said Keone, the goddess of snow. She gave Leo a frosty smile. Alas, son of Vestus, you say you need time. I'm afraid time is one tool we do not have. Bro, listen, man. Shut up, okay? She needs to just mind her own godly business. That was a pretty cool chapter too, though. No pun intended. They are intimidated by my Conqueror's hockey. How do you even know what that is? You haven't even read One Piece yet. But, dude, 53 pages to go and an hour to read them in. We could probably do it. Did Thalia lose all of her powers? When she became a huntress? Because why is she getting the jobber treatment? Dude, I don't know. That's so whack. Like, she needs to shoot lightning. That is my one issue with the Children of Zeus. Shoot lightning more. Please. Percy uses water whenever he can. Shoot lightning at every given moment. Or at least give me a reason as to why you're not doing it. Alright. Chat. Oh, dude, I'm so hungry. Oh, yeah. I need to eat when I'm done with this too. Ooh, back crack. That was a loud one. Okay. Anyways. Jason! Let's go. Chapter 4. Jason's about to go crazy. I don't know if that's enough time for you. Should we continue later? Nah. It'll be fine. It's fine. I'd rather finish this today and see my movie tomorrow than not finish this today. I really want to finish this today. So if it ends up being that we don't, I'll be okay with that. I'm chilling. I have other stuff I can do. I may have not have seen One Piece, but I have absorbed so much by knowledge of being around the community. Fair. But also read One Piece or watch One Piece. Bonnie, aren't you reading One Piece? Didn't you tell me that? Yes. Shazad. After the fight on Mount Diablo, Jason didn't think he could ever feel more afraid or devastated. Now his sister was frozen at his feet. He was surrounded by monsters. He broke his golden sword and replaced it with a piece of wood. He had approximately 5 minutes until the king of giants busted out and destroyed them. Now his sister was frozen at his feet. He had surrounded by... Okay, broke the golden sword and replaced it with a piece of... Okay. Okay. Jason had already pulled his biggest ace, calling down Zeus's lightning when he fought in Hellas, and he doubted he'd have the strength or the cooperation from above to do it again, which meant his only assets were one whiny imprisoned goddess, one sort of girlfriend with a dagger, and Leo, who apparently thought he could defeat the armies of darkness with breath mints. So he did see that. On top of all this, Jason's worst memories were flooding back. He knew for certain he'd done many dangerous things in his life, but he hadn't been closer to death than he was right now. I have it checked out, but still need to read it. Listen. Open the book, read the words on the page. Do it. Also, from what I understand, Conqueror's Hockey is pretty much the same as Spiritual Pressure from Bleach. Not really. Like, that's a nice equivalency, but Conqueror's Hockey is a lot... Like, Conqueror's Hockey is a lot more than Spiritual Pressure. Like, Spiritual Pressure, like, is like a thing, like, oh, you feel it, you know? Like that's like, oh, this is how strong they are, but that's not really what Conqueror's Hockey is. It's a decent equivalency, but there's a lot more to Conqueror's Hockey. The enemy was beautiful. Keon smiled. Her dark eye... Bro, we don't have time. Just kill her. Her dark eyes were glittering as a dagger of ice grew in her hand. What have you done? Jason demanded. Oh, so many things, the snow goddess purred. Your sister's not dead, if that's what you mean. She and her hunters will make fine toys for our wolves. I thought we'd defrost them one at a time and hunt them down for amusement. Let them be the prey for once. The wolf snarled appreciatively. Yes, my dears. Rio needs to stop howling, Thalia. Yes, my dears. Keon kept her eyes on Jason. Your sister almost killed their king. You know, Lycaon's off in a cave somewhere, no doubt licking his wounds. But his minions have joined us to take revenge for their master, and soon Porphyrion will arise, and we shall rule the world. Traitor! Hera shouted. You meddlesome, D-list goddess! You weren't worthy to pour my wine, much less rule the world. Hera, I need you to shut up. Keon sighed. Tiresome as ever, Queen Hera. I've been wanting to shut you up for millennia. Keon waved her hand, and her ice encased the prism, and sealing in the spaces between the earthen tendrils. That's better, the snow goddess said. Now, demigod, about your death. You're the one who tricked Hera into coming here, Jason said. You gave Zeus the idea of closing Olympus. The wolves snarled and the storm spirits whinnied, ready to attack, but Keon held up her hand. Patience, my loves. If he wants to talk, what matter? The sun is setting and time is on our side. Of course, Jason Drace, like snow, my voice is quiet and gentle and very cold. It's easy for me to whisper to the other gods, especially when I'm only confirming their own deepest fears. I also whispered in Aeolus's ear that he should issue an order to kill demigods. It's a small service for Gaia, but I'm sure it will be well rewarded when her sons the giants come to power. You could have killed us in Quebec, Jason said. Why let us live? Keon wrinkled her nose. Messy business. Killing you in my father's house, especially when he insists on meeting all my visitors. I did try, you remember. It would have been lovely if he agreed to turn you to ice, but once he'd given you guaranteed safe passage, I couldn't openly disobey him. My father is an old fool. He lives in fear of Zeus and Aeolus, but he's still powerful. Soon enough, when my new masters have awakened, I will dispose Boreas and take the throne of the North Wind. But not just yet. Besides, my father did have a point. Your quest was suicidal. I fully expected you to fail. And to help us with that, Leo said, you knocked our dragon out of the sky over Detroit. Those frozen wings in his head, that was your fault. You're gonna pay for that. Oh, let's go. You're also the one who kept Enkelos informed about us. Hyper added, we've been plagued by snowstorms the whole trip. Yes, I feel so close to all of you now, Keon said. Once you made it past Omaha, I decided to ask Lycion to track you down so Jason could die here at the Wolf House. Keon smiled at me. You see, Jason, your blood spilled in this sacred ground will taint it for generations. Brethren will be outraged, especially when they find the bodies of the two from Camp Half-Blood. They believe the Greeks have conspired with giants. Okay. It will be delicious. That's so gross. Piper and Leo didn't seem to understand what she was saying, but Jason knew. His memories were returning enough from to realize how dangerously effective Keon's plan could be. They'll say demigods against demigods, he said. It's so easy, said Keon. As I told you, I only encourage what you would do anyway. But why? Piper spread her hands. Keon, you'll tear the world apart. The giants will destroy everything. You don't want that. Call off your monsters. Keon hesitated, then laughed. Your persuasive powers are improving, girl, but I am a goddess. You can't charm speak me. We wind gods are creatures of chaos. I'll overthrow Aeolus and let the storms run free. If we destroy the mortal world, all the better. They never honored me, even in Greek times. Humans and their talk of global warming, I'll cool them down quickly enough. When we retake the ancient places, I will cover the Acropolis in snow. The ancient places. Neo's eyes widened. That's what Enkelos meant about destroying the roots of the gods. He meant Greece. You could join me, Hephaestus, Keon said. I know you find me beautiful. It would be enough for my plan if these other two were to die. Reject that ridiculous destiny the fates have given you. Live and be my champion instead. Your skills will be quite useful. Leo looked stunned. He glanced behind him, like he might be talking to somebody else. For a second, Jason was worried. He figured Leo didn't have any beautiful goddesses to make him offers like this every day. Straight up. Listen, Leo. It might be an offer to consider! Then Leo laughed so hard he doubled over. Yeah, join you, right? Until you get bored of me and turn me into a Leo sickle. Let's go. Lady, nobody messes with my dragon and gets away with it. Let's go. I can't believe I thought you were hot. Keon's face turned red. Hot! You dare insult me? I am cold, Leo Valdez. Very, very cold, bitch. Oh my god. All right, Rick. She shot a blast of wintry sleet at the demigods, but Leo held up his hand. A wall of fire roared to life in front of them, and the snow dissolved in a steamy cloud. Leo grinned. See, lady? That's what happens to snow in Texas. It freaking melts. He's so dumb. Leo! Keon hissed, enough of this, Harris is failing. Porphyrion is rising, kill the demigods. Let them be our king's first meal. Jason hefted his icy wooden plank, a stupid weapon to die fighting with, and the monsters charged. Are we getting another Jason chapter? Yes. Okay. L is 50. We are at chapter 50. I don't want to hear just open the book and read from the man who left for half a year in the middle of a book. Listen, I had stuff. Okay? I had stuff. All right. Whatever. My boy Leo is down bad, but he still has his principles. That's why me and Leo, we're like this, bro. All the ladies love Leo except Keon. Listen, man. I need you to understand, okay, that I was doing hella important stuff. That's the only reason I wasn't reading. You'll see soon enough. Soon enough, you'll see. I was building in my brain. We have so little left. Look at that. That's even like less than we actually have. Like we have like this much left. It's not that much then, but that's like damn. There. Anyways, I'm so hungry. I need to finish this so I can eat or junk. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make my movie. It's okay. Yeah, we got 50 minutes, 50 pages. Unless I read like a page a minute and then I don't do anything else, like I don't talk or anything. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. It's fine. It's fine. We'll see another day. A wolf launched itself at Jason. He stepped back and swung his scrap wood into the beast's snout. In a satisfying crack. Maybe only silver could kill it, but a good old-fashioned board could still give it a Tylenol headache. Shoot lightning. He turned toward the sound of the hooves and saw a storm spirit horse bearing down on him. Jason concentrated and summoned the wind. There we go. Do some power stuff. Before the spirit could trample him, Jason launched himself into the air, grabbed the horse's smoky neck, and pirouetted onto its back. The storm spirit reared. He tried to shake Jason, then tried to dissolve into mist to lose him, but somehow Jason stayed on. He willed the horse to remain in solid form, and the horse seemed unable to refuse. Jason could feel it fighting against him. He could sense its raging thoughts, complete chaos, straining to break free. It took all Jason's willpower to impose his own wishes and bring the horse under control. He thought about Aeolus. He thought about Aeolus. There we go. Overseeing the thousands and thousands of spirits like this. Some much worse. No wonder the Master of Winds had gone a little mad after centuries of that pressure. Jason had only one spirit to master, and he had to win. You're mine now, Jason said. The horse bucked, but Jason held fast. Its mane flickered as it circled around the empty pool, its hooves causing miniature thunderstorms, tempests. Whenever they touched, tempest. Jason said, "Is that your name?" Their spirit shook its mane, evidently pleased to be recognized. "Fine," Jason said. "Now let's fight." Oh. Ooh. Jason has his own horse too now. He has his own blackjack. He charged into battle, swinging his icy piece of wood, knocking aside wolves, plunging straight toward other Venti. Tempest was a strong spirit, and every time he plowed through one of his brethren, he discharged so much electricity, and the other spirits vaporized in the harmless cloud of mist. There we go, dude. Use lightning. With the chaos, Jason caught a glimpse of his friends. Pepper was surrounded by Earthborn, but she seemed to be holding her own. She was so impressive looking as she fought, almost glowing with beauty. Jason, it's not the time. But the Earthborn stared at her in awe, forgetting that they were supposed to kill her. They lowered their clubs and watched dumbfounded as she smiled and charged them. They'd smile back when she sliced them apart with her dagger, and they melted into mounds of mud. Leo had taken on Keon herself. Let's go, Leo. While fighting A goddess, she had been suicided. Leo was the right man for the job. She kept summoning ice daggers toward him, blasts of winter air, tornadoes of snow. Leo burned through all of them. Burned through all of it. His whole body flickered with red tongues of flame, like he'd been doused with gasoline. He advanced on the goddess, using 2 silver-tipped ball peen hammers to smash any monsters that got in his way. Jason realized that Leo was the only reason they were still alive. His fiery aura was heating up the whole courtyard, countering Keon's winter magic. Without him, they would have been frozen, like the hunters long ago. Wherever Leo went, ice melted off the stones. Even Thalia started to defrost a little when Leo stepped near her. Keon slowly backed away. His expression went from enraged to shocked, to slightly panicked as Leo got closer. Jason was running out of enemies. Wolves lay in dazed heaps. Some slunk away into the ruins, yelping from their wounds. Piper stabbed the last Earthborn who toppled to the ground in a pile of sludge. Jason rode Tempest to the last Ventus, breaking into vapor. Then he wheeled around and saw Leo bearing down the goddess of snow. "You're too late," Keon snarled. "She's awake. And don't think you've won anything here, demigods. Hera's plan will never work. You'll be at each other's throats before you can ever stop us." Leo set his hammers ablaze. Oh my god, Leo. Threw his hammers ablaze. And threw them at the goddess, and she turned into snow, a white powdery image of herself. Leo's hammer slammed into the snow woman, breaking it into a steaming mound of mush. Piper was breathing hard, but she smiled at Jason. "Nice horse." Tempest reared on his hind legs, arcing electricity across his hooves. A complete show-off. Let's go. That's how you need to be using electricity, Jason. Every single time. Then Jason heard a crackling sound behind them. The melting ice on Hera's cage sloughed off in a curtain of slush, and the goddess called, "Oh, don't mind me. Just the queen of the heavens dying over here. Bitch. Shut up." Jason dismounted and told Tempest to stay put. The 3 demigods jumped into the pool and ran to the spire. They freaking fat dubs, bro. Fat dubs. Leo frowned. Pia Calida, are you getting shorter?" "No, you dolt. The earth is claiming me." "Hurry." As much as Jason disliked Hera, what he saw inside the cage alarmed him. Not only was Hera sinking, the ground was rising around her like water in a tank. Liquid rock had already covered her shins. "The giant wakes," Hera warned. "You only have seconds." "On it," Leo said. "Piper, I need your help. Talk to the cage." "What?" She said. "Talk to it. Use everything you've got. Convince Gaia to sleep. Lull her into a daze. Just slow her down. Try to get to the tendrils to loosen while I..." "Right." Piper cleared her throat and said, "Hey Gaia, nice night, huh? Boy, I'm tired. How about you? Ready for some sleep?" The more she talked, the more confident she sounded. Jason felt his own eyes getting heavier, and he had to force himself not to focus on her words. It seemed to have some effect on the cage. The mud was rising more slowly. The tendrils seemed to soften just a little bit, becoming more like a tree root than a rock. Leo pulled a circular saw out of his tool belt. Like one of these ones. How it fit in there, Jason had no idea. Then Leo looked at the cord and grunted in frustration. I don't have anywhere to plug it in." Oh no, The spirit horse Tempest jumped into the pit and whinnied. "Really?" Jason asked. "Hey, so dude, I need you to freaking just zap it. Just zap it." This is gonna be the longest read stream yet, maybe. I think my final, the last Olympian one is nearly 4 hours long. I gotta admit, it's frustrating having fights where Jason does little to nothing, but it's really satisfying when he pops off. It really is. But it's probably just so much more satisfying because I'm like, dude, zap the thing. Just zap it, bro. Just zap it. Badass plan. Concur. Tempest dipped his head up and trotted over to Leo. Leo looked dubious, but he held up the plug. and a breeze whisked into the horse's flank. Lightning sparked, connecting with the prongs of the plug, and the circular saw whirred to life. Sweet, Leo grinned. Yours comes with AC outlets. Their good mood didn't last long. On either side of the pool, the giant spire crumbled with the sound like a tree snapping in half. As outer sheet of tendrils exploded, from the top down, raining stone and wood shards, the giant shook himself free and climbed out of the earth. Jason never thought anything could be scarier than Enceladus. He was wrong. Porphyrion was even taller, even more ripped. Yeah, dude, they told you he was like the smallest one. He didn't radiate heat or show any signs of breathing fire, but there was something more terrible about him. A kind of strength, he had magnetism. As if the giant were so huge and dense, he had his own gravitational field. Like Enceladus, the giant king was humanoid from the waist up, clad in bronze armor, and from the waist down, he had a scaly dragon's legs. But his skin was the color of lima beans. His hair was green as summer leaves, braided in long locks and decorated with weapons, daggers, axes, and full-size swords. Some of them bent and bloody, maybe trophies taken from demigods eons before. When the giant opened his eyes, they were blank white, like polished marble. He took a deep breath. "Alive!" he bellowed. "Praise to Gaia!" Jason made a heroic little whimpering sound. He hoped his friends couldn't hear. He was very sure demigod could solo this guy. Percy could. Don't even Percy could. Porphyrion could lift mountains. He could crush Jason with one finger. It doesn't matter. Percy could do it. "Leo," Jason said. Leo's mouth was wide open. Even Piper seemed dazed. "You guys keep working," Jason said. "Get Hera free." "What are you going to do?" Piper asked. "You can't seriously entertain a giant," Jason said. "I've got no choice." Oh my god. Jason, do something cool. Shoot it with lightning, bro. "Excellent," the giant roared as Jason approached. "An appetizer. Who are you? Hermes? Ares?" Jason thought about going with that idea, but something told him not to. "I'm Jason Grace," he said, "son of Jupiter." Those wide eyes bored into him. Behind him, Leo's circular saw whirred, and Piper talked with the cage in soothing tones, trying to keep the fear out of her voice. Porphyrion threw back his head and laughed. "Outstanding!" He looked up at the cloudy night sky. "So Zeus, you sacrificed a son to me. The gesture is appreciated, but it will not save you." The sky didn't even rumble. The hump and low. Jason was on his own. "Zeus, you're a bitch, bro." Percy solos, facts. He dropped his makeshift club. His hands were covered in splinters, but that didn't matter now. He had to buy Leo and Piper some time, and he couldn't do that without a proper weapon. It was time to act a whole lot more confident than he felt. "If you knew who I was," Jason yelled up at the giant, "you'd be worried about me, not my father." Oh shit, does he remember? "I hope you enjoyed your 2.5 minutes of rebirth, giant, because I'm going to send you right back to Tartarus. Lock in." The giant's eyes narrowed. He planted one foot outside the pool and crouched to get a better look at his opponent. "So, we'll start by boasting, will we? Just like old times." "Very well, demigod. I am Porphyrion, king of giants, son of Gaia. In olden times I rose from Tartarus, the abyss of my father, to challenge the gods. To start the war, I stole Zeus's queen." He grinned at the goddess's cage. "Hello, Hera. My husband destroyed you once, monster." Hera said, "He'll do it again." "But he didn't, my dear. Zeus wasn't powerful enough to kill me. He had to rely on a puny demigod to help. And even then, we almost won. This time, we will complete what we started." Gaia is waking. She has provisioned us with many fine servants. Our armies will shake the earth, and we will destroy you at the roots. "You wouldn't dare," Hera said. But she was weakening. Jason could hear it in her voice. Piper kept whispering to the cage, and Leo kept sawing, but the earth was still rising inside. Hera's prison covering up to her wrist. "Oh yes," the giant said. "The Titans sought to attack your new home in New York. Bold but ineffective. Gaia is wiser and more patient, and we, her greatest children, are much stronger than Kronos. We know how to kill you, Olympian, once and for all. You must be dug up completely like rotten trees, your eldest roots torn out and burned. The giant frowned at Piper and Leo as if he just noticed them working at the cage. Jason stepped forward and yelled to get back Porphyrian's attention. You said a demigod killed you, he shouted. How, if we're so puny? How, you think I would explain it to you? I was created to be Zeus's replacement, born to destroy the Lord of the Sky. I shall take his throne. I shall take his wife. Or if she will not have me, I will let the earth consume her life force. What you see before you, child, is only my weakened form. I will grow stronger by the hour until I am invincible, but I am already quite capable of smashing you to a grease spot. He rose to his full height and held out his hand. A 20-foot spear shot from the earth. Damn. He grasped it and then stomped the ground with his dragon's feet. The ruins shook all around the courtyard. Monsters started to regather, storm spirits, wolves, and earthborn, all answering the giant king's call. Great, Leo muttered. We needed more enemies. Hurry, Hera said. Shut up, Hera. I know, Leo. Go to sleep, Cage. Piper said, nice sleepy Cage. Yes, I'm talking to a bunch of earthen tendrils. This isn't weird at all. Porphyrian raked his spear across the top of the ruins, destroying a chimney and spraying wood and stone across the courtyard. So, child of Zeus, I have finished my boasting. Now it's your turn. What were you saying about destroying me? The reason Jason has been getting his ass kicked is because they don't start every fight like, Jason Gray, son of Jupiter, I will destroy you, so he doesn't get to putting respect on my name buff. That's so true. Every time Percy showed up, they were like, Percy Jackson, son of Poseidon. Like, every single time, like, Percy's would be, okay, great, he's huge, let's do this. Yeah, literally. He just do it. He just low diff Percy solos. Not even super easy, barely an inconvenience. Jason looked at the ring of monsters waiting impatiently for their master's order to tear them to shreds. What time is it? Dang. Reading slow. Leo's circular saw kept whirring and Piper kept talking, but it seemed hopeless. Hera's cage was almost completely filled with earth. I'm the son of Jupiter, he shouted. And just for effect, he summoned the winds, rising a few feet from the ground. I'm a child of Rome, consul to the gods, proctor of the First Legion. Jason didn't know quite what he was saying, but he rattled off the words like he'd said them many times before. He definitely has. He held out his arm, showing the tattoo of the eagle, an SPQR, and to his surprise, the giant seemed to recognize it. For a moment, Porphyrian actually looked uneasy. I slew the Trojan sea monster, Jason continued. I toppled the black throne of Kronos, and destroyed the titan Krios with my own hand. He remembers, and now I'm going to destroy you, Porphyrian. We found you and feed you to your own wolves. Wow, dude, Leo muttered. You've been eating red meat? Jason launched himself at the giant, determined to tear him apart. The idea of fighting a 40-foot tall mortal barehanded was so ridiculous. Even the giant seemed surprised. Half flying, half leaping, Jason landed on the giant's scaly reptilian. Let's freaking go! Scaly reptilian knee and climbed up the giant's arm before Porphyrian even realized what had happened. You dare! The giant bellowed. Jason reached his shoulder and ripped a sword out of the giant's weapon-filled brain. What the fuck? What the fuck? Braids. Oh, okay. He yelled, "For Rome!" and drove the sword to the nearest convenient target, the giant's massive ear. Let's go! Lightning shot out of the sky and blasted the sword, throwing Jason's free. He rolled when he hit the ground. When he looked up, the giant was staggered. His hair was on fire, and the side of his face was blackened from the lightning. A sword had splintered in his ear. Golden ichor ran down his jaw, and the other weapons were sparking and smothering in his braids. Porphyrian almost fell. The circle of monsters let out a collective growl and moved forward. Wolves, ogres, fixing their eyes on Jason. No, Porphyrian yelled. He regained his balance and glared at the demigod. I will kill him myself! The giant raised his spear and it began to glow. You want to play with lightning, boy. You forget I am the bane of Zeus. That's a hard thing to say. I was created to destroy your father, which means I know exactly what will kill you. Something in Porphyrian's voice told Jason he wasn't bluffing. Jason and his friends had had a good run. The three of them had done amazing things. Yeah, even heroic things. But as a giant raised his spear, Jason knew there was no way he could deflect the strike. This was the end. Why do I feel like Percy's about to show up right now? What do I feel like that's about to happen? Got it, Leo yelled. Sleep, Piper said as the horse with the nearest wolves fell to the ground and began snoring. The stone of the wood cage crumbled. Leo had sawed through the base of the thickest tendril and apparently cut off the cage's connection to Gaia. The tendrils turned to dust. The mud around her disintegrated. The goddess grew in the size, glowing in power. Yes, the goddess said. She threw off her black robes to reveal a white gown. Her arms bedecked with golden jewelry. Her face was both terrible and beautiful. And a golden crown glowed in her long black hair. Now I shall have my revenge. The giant Porphyrian backed away. He said nothing, but he gave one last look of hatred. His message was clear. Another time. Then he slammed his spear against the earth, and the giant disappeared into the ground like he dropped down a chute. Around the courtyard, the monsters began to panic and retreat, but there was no escape for them. Hair glowed brighter. She shouted, "Cover your eyes, my heroes!" But Jason was in too much shock. He understood too late. He watched his hair turn into a supernova. Oh my god! Exploding in the ring of force that vaporized every monster instantly. Jason fell, light searing into his mind, and his last thought was that his body was burning. Oh, dude. He looked at her true form? Oh, dude. Percy didn't show up, but I felt like he was gonna like come in clutch, and it was gonna like, and he was gonna like solo the giant. But like, yeah, saving him for another time is also cool because he's like the big bad giant, you know. Having your enemies say your full name gives you a +10 to all stats. Percy gets an extra 5 if they call him Perseus. That's so true. Dude, that's probably like my favorite Percy Jackson theory. That like that the power of the demigod grows the more people know his name. That's like my favorite like theory. I just treat that as canon, because that's just like the coolest thing to me. That was a sick chapter, though. What a sick fight! Dude, what a dope Jason moment. I am like, I freaking took Kronos' black throne and I slipped the Titan Krios and all that. They do say names have power. That's what I'm saying. That's probably what it is. Like freaking power scaling. Yeah, it has to be what it is. That was super sick, though. All right, 40 pages left. Upcoming calendar event. Oh, that's right. I have Solo Mia 130 minutes. Probably not gonna make it. Probably not going to make it. All right. Piper, chapter 51. Jason! Piper kept calling his name as she held him. Though she'd almost lost hope. He'd been unconscious for 2 minutes now. His body was steaming, his eyes rolled back in his head. She couldn't tell if he was breathing. It's no use, child. Hera stood over them in her simple black robes and shawl. Piper hadn't seen the goddess go nuclear. Thankfully, she closed her eyes, but she could see the after effects. Every vestige of winter was gone from the valley. No signs of battle either. The monsters had been vaporized. The ruins had been restored to what they were before. Still ruins, but with no evidence that they'd been overrun by a horde of wolves, storm spirits, and 6 armed ogres. Even the hunters had been revived. Most awaited at a respectful distance in the meadow, but Thalia knelt by Piper's side, her hand on Jason's forehead. Thalia glared up at the goddess. This is your fault. Do something. Do not address me that way, girl. I am the queen. Fix him! Hera's eyes flickered with power. I did warn him. I would never intentionally hurt the boy. He was to be my champion. I told them to close their eyes before I revealed my true form. Leo frowned. True form is bad, right? So why did you do it? Unleash my power to help you, fool! Hera cried. Yeah, you're such a bitch, bro. Oh my god. I forgot how much. I think one of my streams is like titled "Hera Sucks" or something like that. I forgot how much you're annoying you are. I became pure energy so I could disintegrate the monsters, restore this place, and even save these miserable hunters from the ice. But mortals can't look upon you in that form. Thalia shouted, "You've killed him!" Neo shook his head in dismay. That's what our prophecy meant. Death unleashed through Hera's rage. Come on, lady, you're a goddess. Do some voodoo magic on it. Bring him back. Piper half heard their conversation, but mostly she was focused on Jason's face. He's breathing, she announced. Impossible, Hera said. I wish you were true, child, but no mortal has ever. Jason, Piper called, putting every bit of her willpower into his name. She could not lose him. Listen to me. You can do this. Come back. You are going to be fine. Hera is herring. Freaking is. Nothing happened. Had she imagined his breath stirring? Healing is not a power of Aphrodite, Hera said regretfully. Even I cannot fix this girl. His mortal spirit. Jason! Piper said again. She imagined her voice resonating through the earth, all the way to the underworld. Wake up! He gasped and his eyes flew open. For a moment they were full of light, glowing pure gold. The light faded and his eyes were normal again. What happened? Impossible! Hera said. Piper wrapped him in a hug until he groaned. Crushing me. Sorry, she said. So relieved. She laughed while wiping a tear from her eye. I said that horribly, whatever. Thalia gripped her brother's hand. How do you feel? Hot, he muttered. Mouth is dry and I saw something really terrible. That was Hera, Thalia grumbled. Her Majesty, the loose cannon. That's it, Thalia Grey said, the goddess. I will turn you into an aardvark, so help me stop it, you two, Piper said amazingly. They both shut up. Dang! Hera, shut up. That's crazy. Piper helped Jason to his feet and gave him the last nectar from her supplies. Now, Piper faced Thalia and Hera. Hera, your Majesty, you couldn't have rescued you without the hunters. And Thalia, you never would have seen Jason again. And Thalia, you never would have seen Jason again. I wouldn't have met him if it weren't for Hera. You two make nice because we've got bigger problems. They both glared at her, and for 3 long seconds, Piper wasn't sure which one of them was going to kill her first. Finally, Thalia grunted. You've got spirit, Piper. She pulled a silver card from her parka and tucked it into the pocket of Piper's snowboarding jacket. You ever want to be a hunter? Call me. We could use you. Hera crossed her arms. Fortunately for this hunter. You have a point, daughter Aphrodite. She assessed Piper. I didn't think she would care. As if seeing her clearly for the first time. You wondered, Piper, why I chose you for this quest. Why I didn't reveal your secret in the beginning. Even when I knew Enceladus was using you, I must admit, all this moment I was not sure. Something told me you'd be vital to the quest. Now I see I was right. You're even stronger than I realized. And you are correct about the dangers to come. We must work together. Whoa, Hera, okay. Piper's face felt warm. She wasn't sure how to respond to Hera's compliment, but Leo stepped in. Yeah, he said, I don't suppose that the Porphyrian guy just melted and died, huh? No, Hera agreed. By saving me and saving this place, you prevented Gaia from waking. You have brought us some time. Porphyrian has risen. He simply knew better than to stay here, especially since he has not yet regained his full power. Giants can only be killed by a combination of a god and demigod working together. Once you freed me, that's what happened. He ran away, Jason said, but to where? Hera didn't answer, but a sense of dread washed over Piper. She remembered what Porphyrian had said about killing the Olympians by pulling their roots. Greece. She looked at Thalia's grim expression and guessed the hunter that they had come to the same conclusion. I need to find Anna, Thalia said. She has to know what's happened here. Thalia, Jason gripped her hand. We never got to talk about this place, or I know, her expression softened. I lost you here once. I don't want to leave you again, but we'll meet soon. I'll rendezvous with you back at Camp Half-Blood. She glanced at Hera. We'll see them there safely. It's the least you can do. Not your place to tell me. Queen Hera, Piper interceded. The goddess sighed. Fine. Yes, just off with you, hunter. Thalia gave Jason a hug and said her goodbyes. When the hunters were gone, the courtyard seemed strangely quiet. The dry reflecting pools showed no sign of earthen tendrils. They had brought back the giant king, or imprisoned Hera. The night sky was clear and starry. The wind rustled in the redwoods. Piper thought about that night in Oklahoma when she and her dad had slept in Grandpa Tom's front yard. She thought about the night on the wilderness school dorm roof when Jason had kissed her in her mist-altered memories anyway. Jason, what happened to you here? She asked. I mean, I know your mom abandoned you here, but you said it was sacred ground of demigods. Why? What happened after you were on your own? Jason shook his head uneasily. It's still murky. The wolves, you were given a destiny, Hera said. You were given into my service. Jason scowled. Because you forced my mom to do that. You couldn't stand knowing you had 2 children with my mom. Knowing that he'd fallen for her twice, I was the price you demanded for leaving the rest of my family. It was the right choice for you as well, Jason, Hera insisted. The second time your mother managed to snare Zeus's affection, it was because she imagined him in a different aspect, the aspect of Jupiter. Never before this happened. 2 children, Greek and Roman, belonged to the same family. You had to be separated from Thalia. This is where all demigods of your kind start their journey. Of his kind. Ooh, interesting. Tell me more. She means Roman, Jason said. Demigods are left here. We meet the she-wolf goddess Lupa. The same immortal... tell me more. The same immortal wolf that raised Romulus and Remus. Hera nodded, and if you are strong enough, you live. But, interesting! I want to read Camp Jupiter books. Leia looked mystified. What happened after that? I mean, Jason never made it to camp. Not to Camp Half-Blood. No, Hera agreed. Piper felt as if the sky were spiraling above her, making her dizzy. You went somewhere else. That's where you've been all these years. Somewhere else for demigods. But where? Jason hinted the goddess. The memories are coming back, but not the location. You're not going to tell me, are you? No, Hera said. This is part of your destiny, Jason. You must find your own way back. When you do, you will unite 2 great powers. You will give us hope against the giants, and more importantly, against Gaia herself. That's so interesting. So I wonder if all the Camp Jupiter kids are like badasses. And then the Camp Half-Blood kids are like not. You want us to help you, Jason said, but you're holding back information. Giving you answers would make those answers invalid, Hera, Sarah said. That is the way of the fates. You must forge your own path for it to mean anything. Already you 3 have surprised me. I would not have thought it possible. The goddess shook her head. Suffice it to say, you were performed well, demigods. This is only the beginning. You must return to Camp Half-Blood, or you will begin planning for the next phase, which you won't tell us about, Jason grumped. And I suppose you destroyed my nice storm spirit horse, so we'll have to walk home. Hera had the question. Storm spirits are creatures of chaos. I did not destroy that one, though. I have no idea where he went, or whether you'll see him again. But there is an easier way home for you, as you have done me a great service, so I can help you, at least this once. Farewell, demigods. For now. The world turned upside down. Piper almost blacked out. I forgot what rating Piper's perspective. When she could see straight again, she was back at camp. Dang, that was super easy. The dining pavilion, in the middle of dinner, they were standing on the Aphrodite cabin's table, and Piper had one foot in Drew's pizza. 60 campers rose at once, gawking at them in astonishment. Whatever had done to shoot them across the country, it wasn't good for Piper's stomach. She could barely control her nausea. Leah wasn't so lucky. He jumped off the table and ran to the nearest bronze brazier and threw up in it, which was probably not a great burnt offering for the gods. Jason! Chiron trotted forward. No doubt the old centaur had... Chiron, let's go! No doubt the old centaur had seen thousands of years worth of weird stuff, but even he looked totally flabbergasted. What? How? The Aphrodite campers stared at Piper with their mouths open. Piper figured she must look awful. Hi, she said, as casually as she could. We're back. Ooh, that was so interesting. Oh, that was so interesting. Oof. And we have 30 pages left. I'm gonna try to read through. I'm gonna try to read through as fast as possible. Because I want to finish this. And then I want to go see my movie. I lied to you. I really want to see my movie. But we're gonna read this. Is it 30 pages? 30, 40, 50, 30. Yeah, it's 30 pages. Alright, whatever. Damn, not even dying can get you away from your demanding girlfriend. I'm so lost what you're talking about. I probably should have read that earlier. Rare W from Hera. Thanks for teleporting. Yeah, honestly. I didn't know gods could just teleport people, bro. But I guess if they can turn them into fucking aardvarks and shit, why wouldn't they be able to? Alright, let's keep going. Piper didn't remember much about the rest of the night. They told their story and answered a million questions from the campers, but finally Kyron saw how tired they were and ordered them to bed. It felt so good to sleep on a real mattress. Piper was so exhausted she crashed immediately, which spared her any worry about what it would be like returning to the Aphrodite cabin. The next morning she woke in her bunk, feeling reinvigorated. The sun came. Oh, no dream. Came through the windows along the pleasant breeze. It might have been spring instead of winter. Birds sang. Monsters howled in the woods. Breakfast smells wafted from the dining pavilion. Bacon, pancakes, and all sorts of wonderful things. Drew and her gang were frowning down at her, their arms crossed, mourning. Piper sat up and smiled. Beautiful day. You're going to make us late for breakfast, Drew said, which means you get to clean the cabin for inspection. A week ago, Piper would rather punch you in the face or hidden back under covers. Now she's out about the Cyclops in Detroit, Medea in Chicago, Midas turning her to gold in Omaha. Looking at Drew, who used to bother her, Piper laughed. Drew's smug expression crumbled. She backed up, then remembered she was supposed to be angry. What are you challenging you, Piper said. How about noon in the arena? You can choose the weapons. Oh shit. She got out of bed, stretched leisurely, and beamed at her. She spotted Mitchell and Lacey would help pack for a quest. They were smiling tentatively, their eyes flitting from Piper to Drew, like this might be a very interesting tennis game. I missed you guys, Piper announced. We're going to have a great time when I'm a senior counselor. Drew turned bug juice red. Even her close lieutenants looked a little nervous. This wasn't in their script. You? Drew spluttered. You ugly little witch. I've been here the longest. You can't just challenge you. Piper said, sure I can. Camp rules. I've been claimed by Aphrodite. I've completed the quest, which is more than you've completed. If I feel I can do a better job, I can challenge you. Unless you just want to step down. Did I get all that right, Mitchell? Just right, Piper. Mitchell was grinning. Lacey was bouncing up and down when she was trying to achieve liftoff. Let's freaking go. A few of the other students started to grin as if they were enjoying the different colors that Drew's face was turning. Step down, Drew shrieked, you're crazy. Piper shrugged. Then fast as a viper, she pulled Catoptris from under her pillow, unsheathed the dagger, and thrust the point under Drew's chin. Oh, fucking. Everybody else backed up fast. One guy crashed to a market table and sent up a plume of pink powder. A duel, then, Piper said cheerfully. If you don't want to wait until noon, now is fine. Oh. She's so tough. It's tough. You've turned this cabin into a dictatorship. Drew, Selena Beauregard knew better than that. Aphrodite is about love and beauty, being loving, spreading beauty, good friends, good times, good deeds, not just looking good. Selena made mistakes, but in the end, she stood by her friends. That's why she was a hero. I'm going to set things right. I've got a feeling Mom will be on my side. Want to find out? Drew went cross-eyed, looking down the blade of Piper's dagger. A second passed, then two. Piper didn't care. She was absolutely happy and confident. Must have shown in her smile. I stepped down. Garbage! You're trash! You didn't even want to fight. Get her out of here, bro. You better kick her out of camp. Trash, bro. Drew grumbled, but if you think I'm ever going to forget this, McLean. Oh, I hope you won't, Piper said. Now ride along to the dining pavilion and explain to Kyron why we're late. There's been a change of leadership. Oh my god, bro. Drew backed to the door. Even her closest lieutenants didn't follow her. She's about to leave when Piper said, oh, and Drew, honey. The former counselor looked back reluctantly. In case you think I'm not a true daughter of Aphrodite, Piper said. Don't even look at Jason Grace. You may not know it yet, but he's mine. Oh, talk to him. Yeah, but he's mine. If you try to make a move, I will load you into a catapult and shoot you across Long Island Sound. Drew turned around so fast, she ran into the door frame. Then she was gone. The cabin was silent. Dang. The aura, bro. The aura. Oh my god. I don't even know who's my favorite character right now among these three. This was the part. The cabin was silent. The other campers shared a Piper. This was the part she was unsure of. She didn't want to roll by fear. She wasn't like Drew, but she didn't know if they'd accept her. Then spontaneously, the Aphrodite campers cheered so loudly they must have been heard all across camp. They herded Piper out of the cabin, raised her on their shoulders, and carried her all the way to the dining pavilion. Still in her pajamas, her hair was still a mess, but she didn't care. She never felt better. Wow, Piper, let's go! Literally. By afternoon, Piper had changed into comfortable camp clothes and led Aphrodite cabin through their morning activities. She was ready for free time. Some of the buzz of her victory had faded because she had an appointment at the big house. Kyron met her on the front porch in human form. Oh, in the wheelchair. Come back into his wheelchair. Come inside, my dear. The video conference is ready. The only computer at camp was in Kyron's office, and the whole room was shielded in bronze plating. Demigods and technology don't mix, Kyron explained. Phone calls, texting, even browsing the internet. All these things can attract monsters, which freaking sucks. It would suck so much when YouTube came out. Or how do you watch movies? Why just this fall at school in Cincinnati, we had to rescue a young hero who Googled the Gorgons and got a little more than he bargained for. But never mind that. Here at camp, you're protected. Still, we try to be cautious. You'll only be able to talk for a few minutes. Got it, Piper said. Thank you, Kyron. He smiled and wheeled himself out of the office. Piper hesitated before clicking the call button. Kyron's office had a cluttered, cozy feel. One wall was covered with t-shirts from different conventions. Party Ponies 09, Vegas Party Ponies 10 Honolulu, etc. Let's go. Piper didn't know who the Party Ponies were. But I do. Legends. But judging from the stains, scorch marks, and weapons holes in the t-shirts, they must have had some pretty wild meetings. On the shelf over Kyron's desk sat an old-fashioned boombox with cassette tapes labeled Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, greatest hits of the 40s. Kyron was so old, Piper wondered if he meant the 1940s or the 1840s. Maybe just AD 40. But most of the office walls was plastered with photos of demigods. Like Hall of Fame, one of the newer shots with a teenage guy with dark hair and green eyes, Perseus Godamus Jackson III. Since he stood arm in arm with Annabeth, Piper assumed the guy must be Percy Jackson. Fucking damn straight he is. Damn fucking straight he is, Percy Jackson. In some of the older photos, she recognized famous people, businessmen, athletes, even some actors that her dad knew. Unbelievable, she muttered. Damn. Piper wondered if her photo would go on that wall someday. For the first time, she felt like she was a part of something bigger than herself. Demigods had been around for centuries. Whatever she did for all of them. Piper took a deep breath and made the call. The video screen popped up. Lisa Hedge grinned at her dad's office. Seen the news, kid? Kind of hard to miss, Piper said. I hope you know what you're doing. Kyron had shown her a newspaper at lunch. Her dad's mysterious return from nowhere made the front page. His personal assistant, Jane, had been fired for covering up his disappearance and failing to notify the police. The new staff had been hired and personally vetted by Tristan McLean's life coach, Gleason Hedge. According to the paper, Mrs. McLean claimed to have no memory of the last week and immediately was totally eating up the story. Some thought it was a clever marketing ploy for a movie. Maybe Mr. McLean was going to play an amnesiac. Some thought he'd been kidnapped by terrorists or rabid fans, or had heroically escaped from ransom seekers using his incredible King of Sparta fighting skills. Whatever the truth, Tristan McLean was more famous than ever. It's going great, Hedge promised, but don't worry, we're going to keep him out of the public eye for the next month or so until things cool down. Your dad's got more important things to do, like resting and talking to his daughter. Don't get too comfortable out there in Hollywood, Gleason, Piper said. Hedge snorted. You kidding? These people make A.O.list look sane. I'll be back as soon as... Rick hates Hollywood so much. I'll be back as soon as I can. But your dad's got to get back on his feet. He's a good guy. Oh, and by the way, I took care of that other little matter. The Park Service in the Bay Area just got an anonymous gift of a new helicopter, and the Ranger pilot who helped us, she's got a very lucrative offer to fly for Mr. McLean. Oh, dubs. I didn't care, but cool. You better believe Percy's in the Hall of Fame. Fucking hell yeah, he is. Party ponies, I forgot about that callback. Hell yeah. Did you spoil something, Bonnie? Why'd you delete that? What was that? Thanks, Gleason, Piper said, for everything. Yeah, well, don't try to be awesome. It just comes naturally. Speaking of Aeolus's place, meet your dad's new assistant. Head was nudged out of the way, and a pretty young lady grinned into the camera. Melly? Oh my god. Happy ending for everybody. Piper stared, but it was definitely her, the aura who helped them escape from Aeolus's fortress. You're working for my dad now? Isn't it great? Does he know you're a, wind spirit? Oh no, but I love this job. It's a breeze. Piper couldn't help but laugh. I'm glad. That's awesome. But where? Just a sec. Melly kissed Gleason on the cheek. Come on, you old goat. Stop hogging the screen. What? Hedge demanded, but Melly steered him away and called Mr. McLean. She's on! A second later, Piper's dad appeared. He broke into a huge grin. Pipes! He looked great. Back to normal. With his sparkling brown eyes, his half-day beard, his confident smile, and his newly trimmed hair, like he was ready to shoot a scene. Piper was relieved, but she also felt a little sad. Back to normal wasn't necessarily what she'd wanted. In her mind, she started the clock on a normal call like this on a work day. She'd hardly ever got her dad's attention for longer than 30 seconds. Hey, she said weakly, you feeling okay? Honey, I'm so sorry to worry you with this appearance business. I don't know. His smile wavered, and she could tell he was trying to remember, grasping for a memory. It should have been there, but wasn't. I'm not sure what happened, honestly, but I'm fine. Coach has been a godsend. Godsend, she repeated, fleeting choice of words. You told me about your new school, Dad said. I'm sorry about the wilderness school, didn't work out. But you were right. Jen was wrong. I was a fool to listen to her. 10 seconds left, maybe, but at least her dad sounded sincere, like he really did feel remorseful. You don't remember anything, she said, a bit wistfully. Of course I do, he said. Chill went down her neck. You do? I remember that I love you, he said, and I'm proud of you. And are you happy at your new school? Harry blinked. He wasn't going to cry now. After all, that's sad. After all, she'd been through that. That would be ridiculous. Yeah, Dad. It's more like a camp, not a school. But yeah, I think I'll be happy here. Call me as often as you can, he said, and come home for Christmas. And Pipes? Yes. He touched the screen as if trying to reach through his hand. You're a wonderful young lady. I don't tell you that often enough. You remind me so much of your mother. She'd be proud. And Grandpa Tom? He chuckled. He always said you'd be the most powerful voice in our family. You're going to outshine me someday, They're going to remember me as Piper McLean's father. That's the best legacy I can imagine. Oh, goated dad moment. What a goated thing for him to say. That's great. Piper tried to imagine, but she was afraid she'd break down. She just touched his fingers on the screen and nodded. Melly said something in the background. Her dad sighed. Studio calling. I'm sorry, honey. And he did sound genuinely annoyed to go. It's okay, Dad, she managed. Love you. He winked and the video call went black. 40 seconds, maybe a full minute. Piper smiled. A small improvement, but it was progress. At the commons area, she found Jason relaxing on a bench, a basketball between his feet. He was sweaty from working out, but he looked great in his orange tank top and shorts. But he looked better in purple. His various scars and bruises from the quest were healing, thanks to medical attention from the Apollo cabin. His arms and legs were well muscled and tan, distracting as always. Okay, bro. All right, bro. His close cropped blonde hair caught the afternoon light, so it looked like it was turning to gold, Midas style. Hey, he said, how'd it go? It took her a second to focus on his question. Oh, yeah, fine. She sat next to him and they watched the campers going back and forth. A couple of Demeter girls were playing tricks on the two Apollo guys, making grass grow around their ankles as they shot baskets. Over at the camp store, the Hermes kids were putting up a sign that read, Flying shoes, slightly used, 50% off today. Harry's kids were lining their cabin with fresh barbed wire. The Hypno's cabin, what the fuck, was snoring. Oh, yeah, right. All the gods have kids right now. Was snoring away. A normal day at camp. Meanwhile, the Aphrodite kids were watching Piper and Jason and trying to pretend they weren't. Pretend they weren't. Piper was pretty and sure she saw money change hands Piper was pretty sure she saw money chain change, like she was like they were placing bets on a kiss. Get any sleep? She asked. He looked at her as if she'd been reading his thoughts. Not much. Dreams about your past? He nodded. She didn't push him. If he wanted to talk, that was fine. But she knew him better than to press the subject. She didn't even know that her knowledge of him was mostly based on 3 months of false memories. You could sense possibilities, her mother had said, and Piper determined to make those possibilities a reality. Piper was determined to make the possibilities a reality. Jason spun his basketball. It's not good news, he warned. My memories aren't good for any of us. Piper was pretty sure he'd been about to say for us, as in the 2 of them. She wondered if he had remembered a girl from his past, but she didn't let it bother her. Not a sunny winter day like this, with Jason next to her. We'll figure it out, she promised. He looked at her hesitantly, like he wanted very much to believe her. Annabeth and Rachel are coming in for the meeting tonight. Oh, both of them together? And she probably wait until a little then to explain. Okay, she plucked a blade of grass by her foot. She knew there were dangerous things in store for both of them. She would have to compete with Jason's past, and they might not even survive their war against the giants. But right now, they were both alive, and she was determined to enjoy this moment. Jason studied her waringly. His forearm tattoo was faint, blue in the sunlight. You're in a good mood. How can you be so sure things will work out? Because you're going to lead us, she said simply. I'd follow you anywhere. He's not. But anyways, Jason blinked, then slowly he smiled. Dangerous thing to say. I'm a dangerous girl. That I believe. He got up and brushed off his shorts. He offered her a hand. Leo says he's got something to show us out in the woods. You coming? Wouldn't miss it. She took his hand and stood up for a moment. They kept holding hands. Jason tilted his head. We should get going. Yep, she said, just a sec. She let go of his hand and took a card from her pocket. The silver calling card that Thalia gave her for the Hunters of Artemis. She dropped it into a nearby eternal fire and watched it burn. There would be no breaking hearts in an Aphrodite cabin from now on. It was one rite of passage they didn't need. Across the green, her cabin mates looked disappointed that they hadn't witnessed a kiss. They started cashing in their bets. But that was alright. Piper was patient, and she could see a lot of good possibilities. Let's go, she told Jason. We've got adventures to plan. This is such a long epilogue. Especially, like, Riordan doesn't usually do, like, long epilogues. Usually, like, story end, book over. Book over, guys. Just come back next time. Book over. But freaking no, they're really stretching out these epilogues. And if that's gonna be I don't know how I feel about that, but honestly, I probably will enjoy that more as the series goes on. Hey, Shaughnessy, welcome in. The stream's literally about to end. I'm about to finish the book, dog. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm not even gonna preamble right now. I'm just gonna not preamble. I'm not even gonna review this chapter. I'm just gonna go right to the next one because I want to freaking finish this. I'm not gonna make it. All right. Leo hadn't felt this jumpy since he offered tofu burgers to the werewolves. When he got to the limestone cliff... I'm not answering that, mother. Sorry, I'll talk to you later. Leo hadn't felt this jumpy since he offered tofu burgers to the werewolves. When he got to the limestone cliff in the forest... This is Leo 53, by the way. He turned to the group and smiled nervously. Here we go. He rolled his hand to catch fire and set it against the door. His cabin mates gasped. Leo, Nissa cried, you're a fire user. Yeah, thanks, he said. I know. Jake Mason, who was out of his body cast, but still on crutches, said, Holy Hephaestus, that means it's so rare that... The massive stone door swung open, and everyone's mouth dropped. Leo's flaming hand seemed insignificant now. Piper and Jason looked stunned. They'd seen enough amazing things lately. Only Chiron didn't look surprised. The centaur... knit his bushy eyebrows and stroked his beard as if the group was about to walk through a minefield. That made Leo even more nervous, but he couldn't change his mind now. His instincts told him he was meant to share this place, at least with the Hephaestus cabin. And he couldn't hide it from Chiron or his 2 best friends. Welcome to Bunker 9, he said, as confidently as he could. Come in. The group was silent, as they toured the facility. Everything was just as Leo had left it. giant machines, work tables, old maps. I forgot about this place. This place that Leo freaking found. Old maps and schematics. Only one thing had changed. Festus' head was sitting on the in the central table, still battered and scorched from his final crash in Omaha. I will totally go back and watch it. W. That's crazy, but you know, you do you, man. I wouldn't watch me. Only one thing changed. Festus' head was sitting on the central table, still battered and scorched from his final crash in Omaha. Leo went over to it, a bitter taste in his mouth, and stroked the dragon's forehead. I'm sorry, Festus, but I won't forget you. Jason put a hand on Leo's shoulder. Festus brought it here for you, Leo nodded. But you can't repair him, Jason guessed. No way, Leo said. But the head is going to be reused. Festus will be going with us. Piper came over and frowned. What do you mean? Before Leo could answer, Nissa cried out, Guys, look at this! She was standing at one of the work tables, flipping through a sketchbook. Diagrams of hundreds of different machines and weapons. I've never seen anything like this, Nissa said. There are more amazing ideas here than in Daedalus' workshop. It would take a century just to prototype them all. Who built this place, Jake Mason said, and why? Kyron stayed silent, but Leo focused on the wall map he'd seen during his first visit. It showed Camp Half-Blood with a line of tri-remaze. Yep, that word. And the sound. Catapults mounted in the hills, around the valley, and spots marked for traps, trenches, and ambush sites. It's a wartime. The command center, he said. The camp was attacked once, wasn't it? In the Titan War? Piper asked. Lisa shook her head. No, besides, the map looks really old. The date is that, let's say 1864? They all turned to Chiron. The centaur's tail swished fretfully. This camp has been attacked many times, he admitted. That map is from this last civil war. Apparently, Leo wasn't the only one confused. The other Hephaestus campers looked at each other and frowned. Civil war? Piper said. You mean the American Civil War? Like 150 years ago? Yes and no, Farron said. The demigod Civil War, obviously. The two conflicts, mortal and demigod, mirror each other, as they usually do in Western history. Look at any Civil War revolution, from the fall of Rome onward. It marks a time when demigods also fought one another. But that Civil War is particularly horrible. For American mortals, it is still their bloodiest conflict of all time. Worse than the casualties in the two world wars. Bro, this is, oh my god, the lore we're getting right now. Oh my god, give me a freaking Camp Jupiter book, please. For demigods, it was equally devastating. Even back then, this valley was Camp Half-Blood. It was a horrible battle in these woods, lasting for days, with terrible losses on both sides. Both sides, Neil said. You mean the camp split apart? No, Jason spoke up. He means two different groups. Camp Half-Blood was one side in the war. Leo wasn't sure he wanted an answer, but he asked, and who was the other? Kyron glanced up a tattered Bunker 9 banner, as if remembering the day it was raised. The answer is dangerous, he warned. It is something I swore upon the river Styx never to speak of. After the American Civil War, the gods were so horrified by the toll of it, took on their children. They swore it would never happen again. The two groups were separated. The gods bent all their will, wove the mist as tightly as they could, to make sure the enemies never remembered each other, never met on their quests, so that bloodshed could be avoided. This map is from the final dark days of 1864, the last time the two groups fought. We've had several close calls since then. The 1960s were particularly dicey, but we've managed to avoid another civil war, at least so far. Please tell me we're gonna have another one. I want a Civil War arc, please. Just as Leo guessed, this bunker was a command center for the Hephaestus cabin in the last century. It had been reopened a few times, usually as a hiding place in times of great unrest. But coming here is dangerous. It stirs old memories, awakens the old feuds. Even when the Titans threatened last year, I did not think it worth the risk to use this place. Really? That's crazy. Because he thought the world was going to end. I mean, he probably bet on Percy. Which is a safe bet. Suddenly, Leo's sense of triumph turned to guilt. Hey, look at this. Look this place. Hey, look, this place found me. It was meant to happen. It's a good thing. I hope you're right, Kyron said. I hope you're right. I am. Leo pulled the old drawing out of his pocket, spread it on the table for everyone to see. There, he said proudly. They almost returned that to me. I drew it when I was 5. That's my destiny. It's a frown. Leo, it's a crayon drawing of a boat. Look, he pointed at the largest schematic on the bulletin board. The blueprint showed a Greek trimmer. You have that word? Slowly, his cabin mate's eyes widened as they compared the two designs. The number of masts and oars, and the decoration of the shield and sail were exactly the same as on Leo's drawing. It's impossible, Nissen said. That blueprint has to be a century old at least. Prophecy. Unclear. Flight. Jake Mason read from the notes in the blueprint. Diagram for a flying ship. Look, that's the landing gear and weaponry. Holy Hephaestus! Rotating ballista, mounted crossbows, celestial bronze plating. That thing would be even one spanking hot war machine. Was it ever made? Not yet, Leo said. Look at the masthead. There was no doubt the figure at the front of the ship was the head of a dragon. A very particular dragon. Festus, Piper said. Everyone turned and looked at the dragon's head, sitting at the table. He's meant to be our masthead, Leo said. Our good luck charm. Our eyes at sea. I'm supposed to build this ship. I'm going to call it the Argo 2. And guys, I'll need your help. The Argo 2, Piper smiled. After Jason's ship? Jason looked a little uncomfortable, but he nodded. Leo's right. The ship is just what we need for our journey. What journey, Nissen said. You just got back. Piper ran her fingers over the old crayon drawing. We've got to confront Porphyrion, the giant king. He said he would destroy the gods at their roots. Indeed, Chiron said. Much of Rachel's great prophecy is still a mystery to me. But one thing is clear. You 3, Jason, Piper, and Leo, are among the 7 demigods who must take on that quest. You must confront the giants in their homeland, where they are strongest. You must stop them before they can wake Gaia fully, before they destroy Mount Olympus. Mrs. Shifted, you don't mean Manhattan, do you? No, Leo said. The original Manhattan, Mount Olympus. We have to sail to Greece? Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. No talking about this chapter. I get my thoughts out at the end. This is probably the last chapter. Let's just go. I'm reading. Chapter fucking 54. It took a few minutes. It took a few minutes for that to settle in. I'm not ready, bro. Listen, I'm the most ready I've ever been. It took a few minutes for that to settle in, but the other Festus campers started asking questions all at once. Who are the other 4 demigods? One of them is Percy Jackson. Hopefully the other one's Annabeth. It's one of those Percy Jackson, the other one's Annabeth. And I want Clarice, but it's probably not Clarice. But I want Clarice so bad. Nico, Percy, Annabeth, Nico. So we only really need one more. And they're definitely not gonna do Clarice. Thalia maybe? I don't know. It took a few minutes for it to settle in, and the other Festus campers started asking questions all at once. Who were the other 4 demigods? How long would it take to build the boat? Why didn't everyone get to go to Greece? Heroes! Chiron struck his hoof on the floor. All the details are not yet clear. But Leo is correct. He will need your help to build the Argo 2. It is perhaps the greatest project Cabin 9 has ever undertaken. Even greater than the Bronze Dragon. It'll take a year at least, as a guess. Do we have that much time? You have 6 months at most. Interesting. So is that going to happen? Are we going to Greece next book? Or is that like... Is Blood of Olympus 6 months away? Interesting. You sail by summer solstice when the god's power is strongest. Besides, we evidently cannot trust the wind gods, and the summer winds are the least powerful and easiest to navigate. You do not sail any later. We may be too late to stop the giants. Dang, short Leo chapter because they really wanted to end on a Jason chapter. Your giants must avoid ground travel. The giants. You must avoid ground travel using only the air. Opposite of PJO series. And sea. Ooh, and sea. So this vehicle is perfect. Jason being the son of the sky god. His voice trailed off, but Leo figured Chiron was thinking about his missing student. Percy Jackson, the son of Poseidon. He would have been good on this voyage too. Jake Mason turned to Leo. One thing's for sure, you are now. Oh, he's so much aura. You are now senior counselor. This is the biggest honor the cabin has ever had. Anyone object? Nobody did. All his cabin mates smiled at him. Leo could almost feel their cabin's curse breaking, their sense of hopelessness melting away. Initially, then Jake said, "You're the man." For once, Leo was speechless. Ever since his mom died, he'd spent his life on the run. Now, he'd found a home and a family. He'd found a job to do, and as scary as it was, Leo wasn't tempted to run, not even a little. Well, he said at last, if you guys elect me leader, you must be even crazier than I am. So let's build a spanking hot war machine. Freaking... No spoilers, sorry, could be a hint. Hold on. Oh, dude, I'm not gonna make it to my movie. That's okay. That's okay. It starts in like 20 minutes. Maybe I can make it. We'll never know. Probably not, though. Probably not. Because I have to drive 10 minutes away, and it's going to take at least 10 minutes to read this chapter, and then I'm going to talk because I need to. Yeah, whatever. I'll see you tomorrow. Fuck it. Chapter 54, Jason. We're going right into it. I'll get my thoughts out at the end. This might be the last chapter, unless Rick does like 2 Jason chapters like a freaking weirdo. Jason waited alone in cabin 1. Annabeth and Rachel, at the same time, were due any minute for the head counselor's meeting, and Jason needed time to think. His dreams the night before had been worse than he'd wanted to share. Even with Piper, his memory was still foggy, but bits and pieces were coming back. The night Lupa had tested him at the Wolf House to decide if he would be a pup or food. Then the long trip south he couldn't remember, but he had flashes of his old life. The day he'd gotten his tattoo, the day he'd been raised on a shield and proclaimed a praetor. Okay, interesting. His friends' faces, Dakota, Gwendolyn, character foreshadowing. Dakota, Gwendolyn, Hazel, Bobby, and Raina. Definitely there'd been a girl named Raina. He wasn't sure what she'd meant to him. Oh no, Raina's gonna make things difficult. But the memory made him question what he felt about Piper. Ooh, yeah, Raina's definitely gonna make things difficult. And wonder if he was doing something wrong. The problem was he liked Piper a lot. Jason I thought Rick wasn't going to do that, but there's definitely going to be a freaking love triangle. And Jason moved his stuff to the corner alcove where his sister had once slept. He put Thalia's photograph back on the wall so he didn't feel alone. He stared up at the frowning statue of Zeus, mighty and proud. But the statue didn't scare him anymore. It just made him feel sad. I know you can hear me, Jason said the statue. The statue said nothing. Its painted eyes seemed to stare at him. I wish I could talk to you with you in person. Jason continued, but I understand you can't do that. The Roman gods don't like to interact with mortals so much. And well, you're the king. You gotta set an example. More silence. Jason had hoped for something. A bigger than usual rumble of thunder. A bright light, a smile. No, never mind. A smile would have been creepy. I remember some things he said. The more he talked, the less self-conscious he felt. I remember that it's hard being son of Jupiter. Everyone is always looking at me to be a leader, but I always feel alone. I guess you feel the same way up on Olympus. The other gods challenge your decisions. Sometimes you got to make hard choices, and others criticize you, and you can't come to my aid like other gods might. You've got to keep me at a distance, so it doesn't look like you're playing favorites. I guess I just wanted to say. Jason took a deep breath. I understand all that. It's okay. It's okay, I'm going to try to do my best. But I'll try to make you proud. But I could really use some guidance. Dad, if there's anything you can do, help me so I can help my friends. I'm afraid I'll get them killed. I don't know how to protect them. The back of his neck tingled. He realized someone was standing behind him. He turned and found a woman in a black hooded robe with a goatskin cloak over her shoulders and a sheathed Roman sword. And a gladius in her hands. Hera, he said. She pushed back her hood. To you, I have always been Juno, and your father has already sent you guidance, Jason. Oh, interesting. Shit. He sent you Piper and Leo. They're not just your responsibility. They are also your friends. Listen to them, and you will do well. Did Jupiter send you here to tell me that? No one sends me anywhere. Hero, she said. I am not a messenger, but you got me into this. Why did you send me to this camp? I think you know, Juno said. An exchange of leaders was necessary. It was the only way to bridge the gap. Exchange of leaders like Perseus go to Miss Jackson III. I didn't agree to it, no, but Zeus gave your life to me, and I am helping you fulfill your destiny. Jason tried to control his anger. He looked down at his orange camp shirt and the tattoos on his arms, and he knew these things should not go together. He had become a contradiction, a mixture as dangerous as anything Medea could cook up. Oh, is Jason an asshole? I wonder. You're not giving me all my memories, he said, even though you promised. Most will return in time, Juno said. You must find your own way back. You need these next months with your new friends, your new home. You're gaining their trust. By the time you sail in your ship, you will be a leader at this camp, and you'll be ready to have a peacemaker between them. You will be ready to be a peacemaker between two great powers. What if you're not telling the truth, he said. What if you're doing this to cause another civil war? Juno's expression was impossible to read. Amusement, disdain, affection, possibly all three. As much as she appeared human, Jason knew she was not. He could still see that blinding light, the true form of the goddess that had seared itself into his brain. She was Juno and Hera. She existed in many places at once. Her reasons for doing something were never simple. I am the goddess of family, she said. My family has been divided for too long. They divided us so we don't kill each other, Jason said. That seems like a pretty good reason. The prophecy demands that we change. The giants will rise. Each can only be killed by a god and demigod working together. Those demigods must be the 7 greatest of the age. As it stands, they're divided between 2 places. If we remain divided, we cannot win. Is Hera cracked? Is Hera actually goated? Or is Juno that's goated and Hera sucks? I didn't know that gods were freaking bipolar. Gaia is counting on us. Counting on this. You must unite the heroes of Olympus. And roll freaking credits, bro. And sail together to meet the giants on the ancient battlegrounds of Greece. Only then will the gods be convinced to join you. It will be the most dangerous quest, the most important voyage ever attempted by the children of the gods. Jason looked up again at the glowering statue of his father. It's not fair, Jason said. I want to see Percy's perspective right now. I could ruin everything. You could, Juno agreed, but gods need heroes. We always have. Oh, come on! Talk to him, Rick! Even you, I thought you hated heroes. The goddess gave him a dry smile. I have that reputation. But if you want the truth, Jason, I often envied other gods, their mortal children. You demigods can span both worlds. I think this helps your godly parent. Even Jupiter, curse him, to understand the mortal world better than I. Juno sighed so unhappily that despite his anger, Jason almost felt sorry for her. I am the goddess of marriage, she said. It is not in my nature to be faithless. I have only 2 godly children, Ares and Hephaestus, both of whom are disappointments. I have no mortal heroes to do my bidding. Which is why I am so often bitter towards demigods. Heracles, Aeneas, all of them. But it is also why I favor the first, Jason, a pure mortal, who had no godly parent to guide him. Ooh, and why I am glad Zeus gave you to me. Ooh. I need to fucking read mythology. Jesus Christ. You'll be my champion, Jason. You'll be the greatest of heroes. Slow your roll. Slow your fat, married roll. Jason is not Percy. Never say greatest of heroes and Jason in the same sentence. Percy Jackson, greatest of heroes. I don't even know. Literally, what are you even talking about? Get this crap off my page, bro. Get off my page. Where was I? Fucking nonsense. You'll be the greatest of heroes and bring you near the demigods and thus to Olympus. read the Percy version, A plus humor throughout. I've been thinking about doing that when I do, as I do want to read through Greek mythology. But I wonder, is it like, is it an in-depth look at Greek mythology? Like, will I come out knowing as much as if I read just a standard Greek mythology book? You're gonna have to fight for second place, literally. But yeah, I want to know. Well, if I read that, will it be just as good as me reading any other Greek mythology book? And bring you near the demigods and thus to Olympus. Her words settled over him as heavy as sandbags. 2 days ago, he'd have been terrified by the idea of leading demigods into a great prophecy, sailing off to battle the giants and save the world. He was still terrified, but something had changed. He no longer felt alone. He had friends now, and a home. You had friends before, buddy, and a home to fight for. He even had a patron goddess looking out for him, which had to count for something, even if she seemed a little untrustworthy. He did 2 Jason chapters like a freaking weirdo. God damn it, Rick. Jason had to stand up and accept his destiny, just as he had done when he faced Porphyrion. With his bare hands, sure it seemed impossible. He might die, but his friends were counting on him. And if I fail, he asked. Great victory requires great risk, she admitted. Fail and there will be bloodshed like we have never seen. Demigods will destroy one another, the giants will overrun Olympus, Gaia will awake, and the earth will shake off everything we have built over 5 millennia. It will be the end of us all. Great. Just great. Someone pounded on the cabin doors. Juno pulled her hood back over her face, then she handed Jason the sheathed gladius. Ooh, new sword alert! Take this for the weapon you lost. First of all, I like the coin a lot. So lame they got rid of that. We'll speak again. Like it or not, Jason, I am your sponsor, and you're a link to Olympus. We need each other. The goddess vanished as the door. I like Hera as this in this role, though. I think that's cool. The goddess vanished as the doors creaked open, and Piper walked in. Annabeth and Rachel here. She said Chiron has summoned the council. I'm not making my movie, but it's fine. It's fine, I say copingly. I really want to see that movie, but it's okay. I'll see it tomorrow. The Crown 8 leading Percy's depressingly empty head. It's perfectly written. Okay, probably not completely, but the sass is worth it. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to look into it because I really want to learn mythology stories: Greek, Roman, Hindu, freaking Norse. You know. From what I understand, is the stories they are told historically, but it's being told by Percy and how he sees it. Yeah, I just want to know like the depth with which they go into them. Like how, like, and if they go into all of Greek mythology or just some things rather. Anyways, this is for sure the last chapter of the book. Jason 51. Yeah, the perspective is awesome. It's not in depth for all of it though. Oof, bummer. Bombsville. Okay. The last chapter until the next one. No, this is the last. This is the end of the book. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is the end of the book. Freaking better be. If I see fucking Piper, I'm gonna blow a gasket, dude. The council was nothing like Jason imagined. For one thing, it was in the big house rec room around a ping pong table. Yes, it is. And one of the satyrs was serving nachos and sodas. Yes, it is. Yes, of course they are. Somebody had brought Seymour, the leopard head, in from the living room, and hung him on the wall. Every once in a while, a counselor would toss him a snossage. A snossage? Should I know what that is? Jason looked around the room and tried to remember everyone's name. Thankfully, Leo and Piper were sitting next to him. It was their first meeting as senior counselors. Oh, he has to go by default because he's the only one there. That's right. Clarice! Leader of the Ares cabin. Had her boots on the table, but nobody seemed to care. Of course they fucking wouldn't. Don't talk to Clarice about nothing, bro. Bring me Kronos. Is he a coward? Oh my god. Clovis from Hypno's cabin was snoring in the corner, while Butch from Ira's cabin was seeing how many pencils he could fit in Clovis's nostrils. Travis Stoll from Hermes' cabin was holding a lighter under a ping pong ball to see if it would burn, and Will Solace, my goat, from Apollo was absently wrapping and unwrapping an ace bandage around his wrist. The counselor from Hecate cabin, thanks, a lot of cabins. Lou Ellen, something or other, was playing Got Your Nose with Miranda Gardner from Demeter cabin, except that Lou Ellen really had magically disconnected Miranda's nose, and Miranda was trying to get it back. Jason had hoped Thalia would show she promised after all. She promised after all, but she was nowhere to be seen. Karen had told him not to worry about it. Thalia often got sidetracked fighting monsters or running quests for Artemis. She'd probably arrive soon. But still, Jason worried. Rachel Elizabeth Dare. Put some respect on it. The Oracle sat next to Chiron at the head of the table. She was wearing her Clarion Academy school uniform dress, which seemed a bit odd, but she smiled at Jason. Annabeth didn't look so relaxed. She wore armor over her camp clothes, with her knife at her side, and her blonde, braided black hair, she's a black girl, hair pulled back in a ponytail. As soon as Jason walked in, she fixed him with an expectant look, as if she were trying to extract information out of him by sheer willpower. "Let's come to order," Chiron said. "Lou Ellen, please give Miranda's nose back." That's funny. What cabin is this from? Hecate? What is Hecate the goddess of? Can someone tell me that? Oh yeah. Where are they? No, where is it? No, please give Miranda's nose back. Travis, you kindly extinguish the flame ping pong ball. And Butch, I think 20 pencils is really too many for any human nostril. Thank you. Now, as you can see, Jason, Piper, and Leo have returned successfully, more or less. What do you mean, more or less? This looks pretty fucking successful to me. Some of you heard parts of this story, but I will let them fill you in. Everyone looked at Jason. He cleared his throat and began the story. Piper and Leo chimed in from time to time, filling in the details he forgot. It only took a few minutes, but it seemed like longer with everyone watching. The silence was heavy, and for so many ADHD demigods to sit still, listening for that long, Jason knew that story must have sounded pretty wild. He ended with Hera's visit right before the meeting. "So Hera was here," Annabeth said, "talking to you." Jason nodded. "Look, I'm not saying I trust her. That's smart," Annabeth said. "But she isn't making this up from another group of demigods. That's where I came from. Romans." Clarice tossed Seymour's sausage. "Dude, Clarice better freaking beat some Roman butt, bro. If Clarice takes a single L, me and Rick are no longer friends. Let's believe another camp with demigods, but they follow the Roman forms of the gods. I've never even heard of them." Piper sat forward. "The gods have kept the two groups apart because every time they see each other, they will try to kill each other." "Interesting. Do they hate each other that much?" "I can respect that," Clarice said. Still, why haven't we ever run across each other on quests?" "Oh yes," Karen said sadly. "You have many times. It's always a tragedy. And always the gods do their best to wipe clean the memories of those involved. I wonder if Clarice has ever. The rivalry goes all the way back to the Trojan War." "Clarice, the Greeks invaded Troy and burned it to the ground. The Trojan hero Aeneas escaped and eventually made his way to Italy, where he found the race that would someday become Rome. Founded the race that would someday become Rome. The Romans grew more and more powerful, worshipping the same gods but under different names, and with slightly different personalities. More warlike," Jason said. "More united. More about expansion, conquest, and discipline." What an interesting concept. "Yuck," Travis put in. "Yeah, discipline does not Camp Half-Blood." Several of the others looked equally uncomfortable, though Clarice shrugged like it sounded okay to her. My goat. Annabeth twirled her knife on the table, and the Romans hated the Greeks. 7 is such an interesting number, because it's not going to be half Greek gods and half Roman gods, you know? It's going to be half Greek demigods and half Roman demigods. You know, it's going to be like half freaking... it's gonna be 3 and 3, and then like one decider, I guess, which is gonna be, I feel that's gonna cause some tension in the later things, that like, oh, it's gonna be 3 Romans and 3 Greeks, and then one, like, who's the last one, you know, who's the last more demigod, is it Greek, or is it like, and that's gonna cause some stuff. Clarice has to be in the story in order to catch an L. Get out of my chat, Anthony. Clarice never takes any L's, bro. Clarice only takes W's. Several of the others looked equally uncomfortable, though Clarice shrugged like it sounded okay to her. Annabeth twirled her knife. Goddess of magic. Okay, sorry, I missed that. And Annabeth twirled her knife like on the table, and the Romans hated the Greeks. They took revenge when they conquered the Greek Isle and made them a part of the Roman Empire. Not exactly hated them, Jason said. The Romans admired Greek culture and were a little jealous in return. The Greeks thought the Romans were barbarians, but they respected their military power. So during Roman times, the gods started to divide, either Greek or Roman, and it's been that way ever since. Annabeth guessed, but this is crazy, Chiron. Where were the Romans during the Titan War? Didn't they want to help? Chiron tugged at his beard. They did help, Annabeth. While you and Percy were leading the battle to save the Manhattan, who do you think conquered Mount Othrys, the Titans base in California? Hold on, Travis said. He said Mount Othrys just crumbled when we beat Kronos. No, Jason said. He remembered flashes of the battle, a giant in starry armor, and a helm mounted with ram horns. He remembered his army of demigods scaling Mount Tam. Oh, his army! Fighting through hordes of snake monsters. It didn't just fall, we destroyed their palace. I defeated the Titan Krios myself. Annabeth's eyes were stormy as Ventus. Jason could almost see her thoughts moving, putting the pieces together. The Bay Area we demigods were always told to stay away from. It because Mount Othrys was there. But that wasn't the only reason, was it? Oh my god. I need to reread the entire fucking series. Carice took the biggest L by being downgraded from a side character to being a background character. No, I hate you. Clarice was always... Okay, Clarice is always been as important as she is in this book. I'm sorry, Clarice has always been this level of important. That's why we need a Jason book. I would love a Jason book. I want a Jason book, and I want a book about what Percy's doing right the fuck now. That's what I want. What he's doing right now. Like what everything that happened during this time, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. That better be what Son of Neptune is. Please tell me that's what Son of Neptune is. Only reason, the Roman camp, it's got to be somewhere near San Francisco. On the other side of the country. Oh, I bet it was put there to keep watch on Titan's territory. Where is it? Percy is kicking his feet up at the spa resort, bro. He's not, bro. Trust. He's kicking Roman ass. It's gotta be where near. I bet it was up put there to keep watch on Titan's territory. Where is it? Character to his wheelchair. I cannot say honestly. Even I have never been trusted with that information. My counterpart, Lupa. Ooh, not exactly the sharing type. Jason's memory, too, has been burned away. The camp's heavily veiled with magic, Jason said, and heavily guarded. You could search for years and never find it. Rachel dared waste her fingers. Of all people in the room, only she didn't seem nervous about the conversation. But you'll try, won't you? You'll build Leo's boat, the Argo 2. Before you make for Greece, you'll sail for the Roman camp. You'll need their help to confront the giants. Bad plan, Clarice warned. If those Romans see a warship coming, they'll assume we're attacking. True. Thank you, Clarice. You're probably right, Jason agreed. But we have to try. I love Clarice. We have to try. I was sent here to learn about Camp Half-Blood, to try to convince the two camps don't have to be enemies. A peace offering, Rachel said, because Hera is convinced we need both camps to win the war with the giants. 7 heroes of Olympus, some Greek, some Roman. That's such a fucking toxic number. Annabeth nodded. Your great prophecy. What's the last line? And foes bear arms to the doors of death. Gaia has opened the doors of death. Annabeth said. She's letting out the worst villains of the underworld to fight us. Medea, Midas. There'll be more, I'm sure. Maybe the line means that the Roman and Greek demigods will unite, and find the doors and close them. Or it could mean they fight each other at the doors of the death. Clarice pointed out, it doesn't say we'll cooperate. There was silence at the camp as the campers let the happy thoughts sink in. I'm going, Annabeth said. Jason, when you get this ship built, let me go with you. I was hoping you'd offer, Jason said. You of all people will need you. Wait, Leo frowned. I mean, that's cool with me and all, but why Annabeth of all people? Annabeth and Jason studied one another, and Jason knew she had put it together. She saw the dangerous truth. Harris said my coming here was an exchange of leaders, Jason said. A way for the two camps to learn for each other's existence. Yeah? Mia said, so. An exchange goes two ways, Jason said. When I got here, my memory was wiped. I didn't know who I was or where I belonged. Fortunately, you guys took me in, and I found a new home. I know you're not my enemy. The Roman camp, they're not so friendly. You prove your worth quickly, or you don't survive. They may not be so nice to him, and if they learn where he comes from, he's going to be in serious trouble. Him? Leo said. Who are you talking about? My boyfriend, Annabeth said grimly. He disappeared. Around the same time Jason appeared, Jason came to Camp Half-Blood. Exactly, Jason agreed. Percy Jackson is at the other camp, and he probably doesn't even remember who he is. Doors of Death, just thinking about it makes me sad. I know you're foreshadowing some stuff. Like, remember, I have heard spoilers. I have heard vague spoilers for Heroes of Olympus, so I can only guess that's like when Percy and Annabeth go into Tartarus or something. Next time on Heroes of Olympus, peak. Oh my god, bro. Listen. They have to go to Greece. They have to go to Greece and fucking fight a war or some crap. And my goat, Percy Jackson, that's where the lost hero is. I thought he was gonna show up at the end of this book, but he's not at all. Bro. Oh. Get this off my shelf. Get this off my shelf. Lost hero. Listen. Not the best book in the series. But that last section, those last 100 chapters are so good. It's a lot of slow, a lot of setup, a lot of character building, a lot of world building, a lot of foreshadowing. Do they have a preview chapter? I don't think they do. No, they just have this chapter where Rick explains what the gods are, and then they have a list of all the books. I can't wait for the next one. I gotta go. Bye-bye. Alright, bye, Shaughnessy. I have half a mind to read the first chapter of this book right now. I'm pondering it in my brain. But, freaking, like, there's so much in this that is that I'm sure is foreshadowing. I'm sure The Lost Hero is a much better read second time around. Do it? I might. I'm considering it. Freaking, I'm sure The Lost Hero is no. Oh no, Bonnie? No, I shouldn't do it. Is a much better read on second round because there's so much stuff that is like probably foreshadowed and like really interesting and like really cool second time around. But now you're just kind of reading this and like, oh, what the fuck are you even talking about? But like it's probably cooler the more you read it. Give it to your feelings. Who the fuck are you, Palpatine, bro? Genuinely great ending, hype as fuck ending. So many cool things. Dude, they're really gassing up the Roman camp. Camp Jupiter. They're really gassing it up. My theory was correct, obviously. Obviously, I had more information, so it's kind of a faulty thing. But I'm still taking this as a W that I figured it out. Brain go burr. Genius is me. Solid adventure. definitely, I don't know, my least or second least favorite quest. But this is great. Just the first chapter, Bonnie said no for some weird, strange reason. What's that about? What's that about, Bonnie? Put that up on my shelf. Finally, that book has been on my desk for a year. and now I get to look at this. Now I get to look at that. Look at that. Just look at that. Oh, 10 out of 10. And because the stream is now it's 3.5 hours long. You're so right. I might have to come back. I might have to come back sooner than a week and read this. That might be what we do. That might be what we do. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come back sooner than a week because I am really fucking hungry. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Let's do it properly. That might be my favorite cover. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. I want to know what this means. It's probably my favorite cover too. I'll probably love it more if I have context about what happens in the story. The ice, I didn't even notice this ice thing breaking in the back. Dude, 10 out of 10. Anyways, yes, I finally done it. I finally finished The Lost Hero. Pretty good. Not as great as Titan's Curse. Not as good as Battle of the Labyrinth. Not as good as The Last Olympian. But pretty good. Very excited for Son of Neptune. Very, very excited. Please, please book. Please start. And I want to see the quest Percy went on. During like when Jason was doing stuff. Book 1 down, 4 more to go. I know, dude. I know. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna do it for this much, much longer stream. I'm happy that we finished it. Finally, next stream, which might be sooner than Friday because I really want to read this. I don't know. You'll see. You'll see when I put it up. When it's gonna happen. We will be reading a fuck ton of Son of Neptune. Best believe that. Thank you, Bonnie. I'm going to see Solo Mio. I don't know if I told you guys. It's the new Kevin James movie. Did a lot of stuff for it on TikTok, where he like made a bunch of fake TikToks in character. But yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. I will see you next time in the stream.